You know, I love this one. I think Falcons here, this is a cool chance for them to recover. I don't know. It's weird with all the impending noise, all the impending news around it. I don't really know how to feel.
Yeah, I mean, it can't get worse for Falcons. So it's they've just been getting better and better throughout.
Why would you say that, Dinko?
Because
They're just in the playoffs.
they won 3 rounds in the last game. So surely it's going to be better.
All right, well, I hope you get a better game this time, guys. Take it away.
I don't. Give me 16-1 and 16 or 13. 13. I've got
16-1.
15 real quick, haven't I?
Roll it back.
Yeah. Let's see what we can do. A beatdown to start the day, or are we going to get a close affair, a rematch, a grudge match? And this one for Falcons has got to be about pride because GamerLegion bodied them in the group stage.
Yeah, well, straight away, PR and ZTR coming in with the opening picks, and Falcons are down to 2 players in an instant. So this is a rough scenario to try and recover immediately.
Ooh.
Nice shot from Kixan. That's a step in the right direction. He's going to clear that smoke, make sure as it fades away, no one's hiding in behind it. And because all these kills came in early, Kixan just waits patiently, and then they walk right into his Glock. Somehow, someway, Falcons have come back into a favorable position, and Tauson has to close this out. Tessus gets the info of his position. He'll drop back into connector. And Kixan has done so much, a 4K already.
Yeah, that's a beautiful little position on top of the train. The reaggress for information gets so punished. Spot him out. Tauson has moved all the way back in towards Z, giving himself a little bit of safety, a little bit of time to think about and let this 1v2 breathe. They're coming right at him.
Walking in towards him. Tauson has a chance to pull this back again. Kixan gone. 40 seconds. Tessus does not want any of that smoke. Tauson doesn't know exactly where he is, but now he'll confirm it with that plant coming in. He'll move into the open. Still a chance to pull this back for GamerLegion as Tauson moves in. Tessus waits up on top of the bomb train. Tessus, oh, spotted, and Tauson still gets the job done.
That's an incredible 1v2. Well done to recover the round. The rest of GamerLegion better be thanking him right now because that's a strong situation ripped away by Kixan, and Tauson bails him out of a tough scenario. Good shooting. I love the decision once he realizes he's been spotted to just back away from the train, realizing there's so many angles they can push him from. Just chill in Z, and he finds 2 really solid fights. So Tauson gets GamerLegion a pistol round and started on the correct foot with a 1-0 opening. We'll see if they can convert the second. It is obviously going to be a buy from the Falcon side of things. AK-47 on Kixan, Galil on NiKo, picking up some pistols and a scout to supplement. And we're into round 2.
Kixan. Just did a bit of ZTR as he leaped around the corner. He's going to go and finish off that kill. Headshot in. ZTR goes down. And Rez now ready for the lineup. Sees 2 players right in front of him. Tessus gets his hands back on the AK-47. But it doesn't really change the fact that Rez is ready. NiKo and Dexter now trying to come back into this one. NiKo plays out a pop. Rez hasn't stepped into the open, but head spotted on Red, so NiKo is going to try and relocate his crosshair up, but the Molotov comes in and forces him further back into pop.
Yeah, great round from Rez so far with his double kill, just single-handedly standing and challenging at team main. So NiKo and Dexter have to pick up the pieces with Galil Scout, and they're a little bit far away from each other. And NiKo might just have to kind of go and start making a play before his teammate arrives. Might leave an opening for Tauson to isolate and pick off the bomb carrier. Strong position at upper, though, for Tauson. Much like the pistol round, he's positioned himself perfectly to have some safety, still be able to challenge and to make an intelligent play when he eventually hears the bomb being planted.
Oh, Tauson spots him in the open, though. Gets down to the right position to see Dexter off. And he just about misses his opportunity for that headshot, Dexter. Tauson locks in.
As the desk alluded, as we talked about and touched on, this is a repeat of a group stage matchup. Mirage 13-1 in the favor of GamerLegion, Inferno 13-2 in the favor of GamerLegion.
Yeah, in terms of getting one-sided game station, you can't really get worse than that.
No, it doesn't get much more one-sided than that across the 2-map series. I mean, Ash talked about that game. He was shocked at how kind of easy it was. Sort of mentioned that was a day where it felt like GamerLegion was playing their best game possible, and Falcons stepped in playing their worst game possible, and it just happened to be on the same same day. So Ash is very much aware that a matchup like that, a series like that, this isn't going to play out the same way twice. That surely, you can already imagine, had to have been the conversation coming into this for the team, is just don't expect it to be like the group stage match. Don't expect them to just lay down and roll over like they did in that series. This one's going to be tough.
Yeah. Falcons picking up 3 wins in a row after the initial 2 series losses to get into the playoffs. They did have Train to kick off the tournament. That was a 13-6 win for Complexity against Falcons.
I mean, they just handled business in the group stage. It was a really good group stage for GamerLegion. PR does eventually go down. Good kill from Magis. But yeah, I mean, losing day 1 to G2, but not really caring about that. Just rattling off 3 series wins in a row, including the beatdown on Falcons. But GamerLegion, no real issues throughout the group stage. Not even super close in a lot of their maps.
Yeah, you think about some of the teams Falcons beat to get into the playoffs as well. They had to play Pain, who are struggling at the moment. They lost the map to them. They beat Rare Atom.
Yeah.
And the Mongols, who are having a real rough tournament.
Both FaZe and Falcons got that sort of luxury of, you know, softer opposition in terms of both of them getting, you know, play Rare Atom and Pain, and able to kind of use that weaker competition to claw themselves back into the group stage in Swiss system. Obviously, the big win for Falcons was that 3rd and deciding series last night against the Mongols. A grueling affair that ended in overtime with the Falcons' victory. It was Dexter and Tesses, the 2 players kind of pointed at as the potential departures for Falcons, who kind of carried him through that 3rd map decider. Magisk, if he gets this plant, that's a victory of sorts. Bonus money across the team. Well done from Magisk and Falcons to find that in a 2v4. Small mistake for GamerLegion. They won't care too much. It's 3-0.
Yeah, especially with how clean the start of that round was, and it never really felt like it was going to get out of hand at all. Strong start here in the first half from GamerLegion. We'll see how much extra cash that bomb plant gives on over to Falcons. Obviously, with all the rumors circulating the squad, you know, obviously with the Monacy move, Dexter's going to be gone. So, you know, if this is his last tournament, his last chance to show up for Falcons, I mean, he's got to really show off and advertise himself as a player that you might want to spend some big money on, because Dexter was gone for a long time at the start of CS2, but he's come back. He had a heroic. He went into that squad, had some visa issues. And we wondered, you know, will he ever get back to the level we remember him from CSGO? And I think he's shown so far that he can get to that level inside of the heroic team at times and inside of Falcons.
Oh, what a rat.
Oh, that's so close.
We saw him get a kill with those spams a couple days back. Obviously done great damage to Rez for free with no chance of a rebuttal. However, Slen's off. Oh, big swing from NiKo. And look at what he's done for this team in the early going in the first 30 seconds. He tagged up PR, made him a little bit awkward. He brought Rez down to 14 HP with the spam, and now he's forced the AWPer to take a passive angle as well. Great control provided by NiKo for Falcons.
PR spots the barrel. Quite a bit of damage onto the Ivy players, and with Tessa's falling and damage done on towards Dexter. This could be a rough start again for Falcons to kick this off. Magic has to fight back, and he's got Tauson. Here goes ETR around the back. Kixan's got the read, though.
Yeah, good job from Kixan.
Look at Magic.
Oh, here's the footsteps.
All the way. PR coming back in, but Magic still loses that fight.
Yeah, he needs that win. That's a win for him all day. He had all the information, the footsteps. He knew exactly where PR was headed, but another good frag for him. Double kill for PR. This gem that Ash and GamerLegion have picked up has been performing so well for them.
28 seconds left.
The HP on GamerLegion is an issue.
Yeah, and PR's about to walk into 2 players here. If he gets 1 extra, that would be absolutely unbelievable. But damage onto NiKo still could be enough. Slen's going to try and patch up the hole that is opened up here at Pop Dog. He needs to delay, but he misses the shot. Drops back into connector, but remember where Rez is. Out towards Hell. The plant's coming in. Can he deny it? Yes, he can. Round's done. No time for Falcons to plant this bomb. And now they just have to stay alive. NiKo can't go down after this time. He's got $300 in the bank. Dexter has already gone down after the time. He's got $100 left over for the AWPer. Oh, this is a disastrous start to the map here for Falcons.
It is. Shout out to Slend. Misses the shot on NiKo as he's holding the angle. I don't even think he saw the leg of the planter. I think he just took the guess and took the shot and drills it through the smoke. Other than that, everything handled well by Falcons, but really this round falls apart. Magis missing that kill. Maybe he did see a little bit of a foot, a little shadow. Either way, you're exactly right. You had that 4th round onto the way this map started, and Falcons maybe feeling a sense of deja vu as GamerLegion have a 4-0 lead.
And because of the economic woes, NiKo saving and Dexter being on $100, Dexter literally can get nothing. He may get decoy maybe if he wants, but nothing really worth talking about. This is disastrous at the moment from Falcons. So have to get into it. Dexter's been given a Tech 9. You can use him as like a human flashbang.
Yeah, well, he's usually part of the crew that takes box halls control with NiKo and Magisk if they go for a three-man take of box halls. So you could pass some utility and have him be a supportive element to get NiKo and Dexter with the rifles in a good position. Okay, a little bit of rebuttal on the spam. All right, NiKo, you can't just do that for free forever. You can also have him obviously go first, be a little bit of a bait, but they want the rifles in front. Magisk and NiKo to swing, and it's an immediate kill. That time, Magisk has no issues cleaning up the frag, and the inner bomb site is wide open.
Yeah, great work to get into the bomb site to take that space here from Falcons. Plant's already down, so... Oh, another kill up on top of the brown holes. This is a fantastic start to a round that looked like it was going to spell disaster for Falcons, but a clean entry on the B bomb site, and GamerLegion in a position where they're just going to save.
Yeah, nice and easy. Good swing from Magisk to get the opening pick. Kicks and dropping down. Even
Dexter gets an all picked up.
Yeah, that's a good find as well. As you just mentioned, he had no money. So yeah, this is all beautiful. The op was the player towards top ramp. First player killed in this round. You still have Tesses over towards the garbage bins with the opportunity to spot out this push. And I don't know if he saw an elbow there. Doesn't look like he's reacted to it, but pulling his teammates back. And both teams will get away without taking damage. 4-1, Falcons are on the board. This is the switch up in the veto. Falcons previously picking Mirage, now picking Train, and it makes sense after that 13-1 drubbing.
Well, still a good buy here from GamerLegion. They're going to call a timeout. Such an important round to win for Falcons, though, because they lose that, you know, you still have economic problems going into the next round. You're looking at GamerLegion being at 6-round CT side, and Falcons being blank. So the fact they're able to pick it up might just open up the conversation again to make a T-half out of this.
Needs to continue, though. We need to be having a conversation after this round of Falcons, you know, having the opportunity to break GamerLegion. That's when you can see this T side really start to open up and erupt, if they could get there. So as I mentioned, you'll see mostly Magisk, NiKo, and Dexter taking box halls control. Dexter can float around with the AWP, sometimes going with Tesses to pick towards Ivy. Tesses will be that default player watching for pushes in Ivy, throwing supportive utility outside of mid to help activate Kixon when he wants to get aggressive, who's watching T main. And this round they go away from the default, more bodies inside, they want to abuse it again. Plenty of nades and Molotovs ring out, pop control for the Falcons attack. And with Tesses headed inside, they don't have him to watch for this push, so GamerLegion getting a jump on the rotate due to the information. While this is all stalled out due to smoke at lower ramp, look at the minimap. GamerLegion have a perfect read. They know everything that is occurring. Tactically, they have outplayed Falcons in this round. A 5-on-4 execute.
And they've got this flank PR around the backside. All the nades are coming in. He knows what's coming at them now. It's all about just getting the picks if you're at GamerLegion, though. And Tessa so far opens up the proceedings with a kill on the T side. They line up for PR and ramp. So with 2 kills just like that, Magisk in a position of weakness. He's going to still fight on. PR goes down, but getting smoked out. He's got a last-ditch effort to try and grab that bomb, and that smoke helps out. So he'll upgrade his M4. He'll run all the way through Pop Dog. And he has a little bit of a chance here, but Rez starts to realize that rotate's likely happening.
Yeah, but damage. Yeah, I mean, anything you can do with damage would be fantastic. Flashbang in, op, pre-fires off of it. Magisk going for the plant, and he's going to try and punish anyone making a play, and he almost caught Slend out in the open, but now he's got to stick things. Relative safety as they push forward, and Magisk goes down. Hard fought to find 1 kill, and he can't do it. It's 5-1. Nice round from GamerLegion.
Completely surrounded that attack as they try and come into the B site.
And dude, I mean, it's like, that's not even all that telegraphed from Falcons at any point. It's just a reaction from GamerLegion to push Ivy is massive. Tells them everything and allows them to bring 4 players over who are able to slow down the attack to set up PR's flank for a double kill. And that's an area Ash discussed with GamerLegion. He's saying tactically and strategically, we're a very strong team. He says what happens is way too often we put ourselves in good situations with those reads and the strategies, but we lose way too many, like 80% situations. The post plants, the 4v3s, the 5v4s. He said we just lose too many of them to be considered a top team and to be as effective as we'd like. That's obviously an area he's going to have tons of focus as the coach on. Today, converting those situations very well so far.
Once again, GamerLegion have Falcons on the brink of having to go down to a weaker bot. Tess says, he's got another smoke ready to go here for the Falcons. Execute into the A bomb site, but going on this first thrust. Ooh, kicks in. Decision to wait after that grenade blast. Expected the smoke to be blasted open. And
yeah, but with the smoke break and the follow-up Molotov, they've done a good job of actually stalling this out. That smoke is going to be close to fading.
Low. If he takes a body shot, he's down, so he's going to drop back further into the site, allow the AWP to take a pick towards Pop Dog. Reds goes down. This shot from Slant Kixan alongside Tesses have created so much space inside of this A-bomb site.
Yeah, such a power. Oh, fortunate to get the bomb planted before that smoke fades. This is a 2v3 that they could go for off of that kill if they want to stick around and investigate, see if someone from Falcons is going to give up something else.
Tauson would have to go towards Pop, so it's still a long way for him to go.
Well, you might be, okay, he's going to save. So yeah. Molotov towards Pop just to make sure nobody's going to take his gun away at the end. But yeah, they've called it off. They want the cash, it makes sense. A little bit of bonus money. Tauson can drop a weapon over if needed. PR's a little bit low on 1,300, but a very nice explosive hit out T-main for Falcons. They get the kills on the Rifler, which doesn't allow Slend the time needed to put another shot into the AWP.
The pick right at the end. But it's Kixan that's having such a great game at the moment here for Falcons. He had that pistol round near recovery. Top fragging by a significant margin inside of the squad right now.
It's a good to see as well, 9 and 5 for Kixan, because if you go down, the other 2 guys that you'd imagine would be most of the muscle for Falcons, NiKo has 1 kill, Dexter has 0. So yeah, a little bit cold from the hot hands to start train. But Kixan doing a good job of picking up some of that slack for the moment and give them some time to switch on.
Well, double push into Pop. Weaker weapon, charging in towards Dexter. That's his first kill, but traded. And Magisk was there to support him to make sure it is only 1 for ZTR's MP9.
Yeah, the idea Dexter gets 1 there with that swing, though, that's a crazy fast shot and adjustment. Good on him to at least get that.
NiKo's watching for the Tauson push forward. Timing to drop his crosshair, but he brings it back up. Takes a lot of damage on board, down to 24, but with the kill from NiKo, we're now looking at a likely Falcons 3rd round win.
Yeah, and I mean, PR can only be here for so long. There's 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock, so you can see Falcons, they don't need to budge. There's no pressure on them in the moment in this round. Looking for a reaction, and even when you decide to eventually move, you might use NiKo's low HP to kind of explore the inner bomb site, explore the outer yard, see if anyone bites on him wandering into the open, and see if he can discover the positioning of the 2 remaining members of the defense.
PR crossing in behind default. A lot of damage done, and eventually does get that kill on NiKo. So 2v3 is not impossible here for GamerLegion, but they're just on the wrong side of the map at the moment.
And they know where Falcons know where PR is, but Sled never showed himself inside during that engagement with NiKo, so they're probably a little bit nervous about this AWP that's somewhere on the map. Tess is clearing things out, finding the space, side of the bomb train, waiting for Kixan to get in position to cover, and now you have a safe plant. And once again, it should be a save from PR and Slend on the other side of the map. Low health, no kits, no reason to challenge for the round. So Falcons going to get up to 3, and now we can finally say it. Now we can finally talk about Falcons putting the economy of GamerLegion in a really precarious position. A next round victory for Falcons would reset and break that CT money. And then we might see Falcons able to take a lead going into halftime.
Well, Falcons have already won as many rounds as they did in the previous series.
You know, one thing too, this has been such a phenomenal run for GamerLegion with some of the ways this year started. You know, Rez PR only being in this team for about 3 months. Hasn't been a long time for them to come together, but this is their first playoffs of 2025 that they've qualified for. Finally able to accomplish that goal and get themselves into this quarterfinals position.
I think when you look at GamerLegion, there's been many times throughout their stint at the top of Counter-Strike where they've been ripped apart and destroyed and have to rebuild. You know, think of 2 years ago at the Paris Major, they make it to the final, they have the Shuei, they have Imus, that roster. They had to rebuild. We thought that was maybe it. That was it, dead. But then they build it back again. They have another squad. They're competitive at the last major. Then that squad gets ripped apart, and they're bringing another squad back in with some of these young. And you have to look at who has been in the squad for that entire time, and it has been Coach Ash.
Yeah, and I mean, that's obviously been a huge testament to why GamerLegion's been competitive is his work bringing up young players, and he's kind of talked about that, saying, you know, it is one of the things where we have some issues winning the big games and some issues, you know, some mental issues, especially in the high-pressure games. And he said that's kind of, I guess, you know, just the life you live when you pick up young players is obviously the skill's going to be there, but teaching them the rest of the pieces is quite difficult. And I think for him, he's got to be a little exhausted of it. It's been lineup after lineup, and he keeps making it work, but at some point, he's like, can I just keep the same guys? NiKo's going to have a close challenge with Rez's Deagle. Smoked off.
Yeah. Just going to start backing away from that smoke. Falcons about to head in towards the B bomb site. It's going to be a kill for Slen, but it's on A. And the action for Falcons in the final 30 seconds is all about the B finish. Magisk is taking a lot of ground deep into the B bomb site. Nearly gets caught there by Tauson. Manages to evade his gaze with a P250. Wrap around the back. Tauson doesn't predict. Magisk is aggressive play. PR around the corner. The AK-47 of the CT side is going to win that fight. And you still give GamerLegion a small shot at this because ZTR's on the backtrack. Rez has cut through with a deagle. Bomb is, in fact, down, but the shot onto NiKo, they can get on the defuse, and it's not planted for Kicksan at this range. It's going to be a full stick, a full 10 seconds, and Slime will defend it. GamerLegion with a mixed buy with mixed goods. They are still able to pull off the round victory.
I saw that coming. That's why, I mean, that's what I meant by the bomb's not planted. It's not planted for the Falcons players. They got way too overextended. Two players pushing very, very deep, and what a missed opportunity. Just talking about the ability to just destroy the economy. And so many players push forward and get picked off and get killed. They have no one actually defending the bomb. And that's one of those rounds. If you're one of the, I mean, if you're Zonic, who's won so many majors, if you're NiKo, that's the one where you look around and you're like, how did this happen? Yeah. How have we, as this team with this much experience, allowed this round to play out in this fashion?
Well, looking to respond quickly. That kind of round can ruin what was looking to be a recovered half. ZTR catching Kicksan, jumping up towards Olaf. Magisk swinging from Pop Dog. Great start here for GamerLegion. Tess says hoping for heroics, but gets caught by Rez.
Oh, that round is going to have such big implications. Falcons now getting shut down. NiKo's going to try and provide...
But look where the bomb is, dude.
Yeah, it's way out there in the open. Rez just looking at it with
showing us.
Yeah, just to help us out. Like,
right there.
Cool
right
fake
there.
inside. We don't care about the bomb. Or we don't care about the bomb's site.
Yeah, that's... Oh, that is such a tilting set of rounds here for Falcons. Well, thanks for fighting his way out of it. But a wallbind comes in, NiKo. They know exactly where you are. PR closes down the space. And a 7th round here for GamerLegion. I respect the high five into the fist bumps.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a pretty emotional roller coaster, rather, should I say, for NiKo throughout this event. I think we were looking at all the clips of
Sure, all the
how
frustration.
miserable he was in the first few games of the tournament.
I mean, he mentioned coming into this, like, it's, you know, so much conversation around the VRS and being like, okay, well, the cutoff's already happened. The Austin Major is here. We're kind of looking ahead. So in some sense, the VRS has lost a little bit of its allure with the context of the Austin Major, but obviously critically important for invites to events that are going to be leading up to the second major of the year. But even NiKo came into this and said, oh, good find from Kixon. Even NiKo came into this event and said, we want to do really good here. And not necessarily, I mean, for the VRS, for getting some of the invites to the events coming up after the player break, it's going to be critical. But, you know, he's like, this is an event, despite the fact that the cutoff is already here and the Austin Major's already decided, it's not an event we're planning to take off. We boot camp, we practice for this event.
Yeah, but I think you also have to deal with the reality of the situation, as you know this roster isn't going to be continuing.
No, but you're still kind of you're still working, right? Like, you're still working on changing things. You still want to do good. There's a, you know, obviously we talked about Dexter. He's expressed disappointment, but I mean, for him with his long extended break, he's done enough to show that he's got some quality that can be impactful at top tier, at tier 1 Counter-Strike. But you still want to keep playing well while you're in these moments. And I mean, NiKo's even just come out and said, like, I don't know what caused us to play like crap for the first couple days of this event. Hopefully that MongolZ win fired up some emotions within the Falcons team. A 3-on-3 now. They've got enough picks to make this round dangerous, but still only able to recover the single AK-47 on Dexter.
Yeah, not a lot of time in the round here as well. 30 seconds, and Slen's going to go back to the B-bomb side and have a look. So there is a small opening to take some ground into the A side, because Rez is looking at Ivy. He's been smoked out at Icon, so has to go through the Hell Peak instead. Slen with a couple of missed shots in this half, but I'll nail that one. Pulls out the P250. Match is gone, and he'll farm up the final 3 combined with Tauson. So 8 rounds for GamerLegion, looking for a 9th to close this half out.
Dan, they're looking really sharp. I mean, maybe that group stage beatdown over Falcons gave them some confidence, particularly against this team. One of the factors they've talked about is GamerLegion. They've kind of said, like, it feels like we're always playing our 6 out of 10 game, and I think Falcons is like, we'd love to see your 6 out of 10 game right now, because the last 2 times they faced off,
we played our 1 out of 10 game.
Yeah, GamerLegion's been playing like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Falcons having a real tough time against them in back-to-back series, 8-3 in the favor of GamerLegion, but it is CT's side train. Falcons can do something similar once we switch, but obviously they'd love that extra 4th round to add on top of it to give themselves a buffer in this quarterfinal.
NiKo. Oh my goodness, you thought he was going to win that fight. Like 9 times out of 10, you think he's going to win that fight with how early he got in the position, but Rez runs into the angle and comes out on top. So GamerLegion giving him an advantage into the final round of this first half. It's got to be a 4v5 recovery for Falcons just to grab a 4th round.
Yeah, they're getting absolutely...
Arm showing.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Curve it around the edge of the wall and clear out T-main while you're at it. Rez, tons of information. Tauson now pushing up as well. They're going to come right back to him, but Dexter might get caught here. Off angle, good control from Tauson. I just grab one back over and pop, but it's not nearly enough. Him and Kixon against 4. And they've got to go contact.
Couple of shots land towards Kixon. The utility's going to delay that plant, and they decide to go aggressive, fight forward, try and pull it back, but Magisk now left alone in the world. 1v3 required. Spots out the head of ZTR, unable to take the opportunity to down him completely. And now they push in towards him, they swarm him. And a 9-3 CT half here for GamerLegion. Still in control versus Falcons.
Look, Falcons had their chance. They had their opportunity. You lose that round to the saved op and the save M4 and the 3 pistols. When you have the bomb planted, you have control of the inside bomb site at the B site. I mean, you just let them defuse and push too far away. That was your opportunity. That round win plus a break of the economy gets you up to 4, and then you can change the nature of this half. The fact that you let that one slip away is so brutal. That's the story of this first half. The opportunity Falcons had to keep this close slips through their fingers, and GamerLegion playing a really strong CT side. We're going to switch over now, It'll be Falcons on defense, GamerLegion attacking into them. They have Magisk anchoring that B bomb site with NiKo as the rotator.
A pretty deflating half for Falcons. But a chance to flip it back on the CT side, but gotta get off to a real hot start. I just loved how quickly GamerLegion were willing to sort of swarm them on rotations at times. You know, earlier in the half they had great reads. They had 4 players on the B bomb side with a flank coming in for PR.
It helps make those decisions if you're a player, because I mean they were so proactive on defense. The Ivy pushes for information. They know exactly where everyone's at, so you can make a calculated decision. Ivy push coming in for Tesses.
Yeah, he's under pressure, but he's got that first headshot. Second's even better. Oh my god, it's clean! Tesses topples the attack. And Tauson 1v5 is not going to clutch this pistol round back. It's clean from Falcons. All 5 stay alive. And Tesses is put under a lot of pressure and passed with flying colors.
Yeah, that's a really lovely pistol round for Tesses. He gets 4 kills. He's up to 6 now. So he only got 2 in the first half. And you have to think, for someone who is kind of playing a very, very supportive role on Train, Falcons didn't really challenge Ivy, which is kind of his position on the map to have responsibility of. So most of the time, he's just playing support for Kixin in middle. Didn't have a whole lot of action, a whole lot of chances to climb up the scoreboard, but he takes great advantage of the pistol.
Yeah, you don't allow the bomb plant, so GamerLegion not going to be able to get a really solid force buy here. So Falcons are going to be given 5 rounds before GamerLegion get a purchase. Good opportunity to try and shrink this gap quickly in the second. And you'd imagine we're going to start to see NiKo pick it up here in the defense. Dagster to find more impact if they can get that AWP out early. Could be a very different story here in the second half.
Hoping for a push. Just having a powwow.
Chilling out in the server room.
Talking things over. Playing patty cake. There's got to be a certain... there's a tough element of this for Falcons. Ooh,
oh, knife. That's huge.
Yeah,
extra money.
Well done from ZTR, actually. Yeah, that is very, very cost-effective. Dexter wants nothing against that Glock without his head armor, so just tucks his head down and lets Magisk...
Still a lot of knives in this tournament. You know, we were watching the highlights this morning, you know, of the group stages, and quite a lot of knives.
I think 3 or 4 that we know about. So
yeah. Well, this is the first playoff game of the day, the first quarterfinal. We've got 3 max FaZe coming up a little bit later today. Complexity Aurora, G2 Virtus.pro. So those are your matchups today. Super exciting to see. I want to see the 3D Max. That's going to be a good one, I think. 3D Max versus FaZe has options to deliver later on. Falcons looking to try and pick up the CT side. Now rifles out in force, but device here for GamerLegion. So the first obstacle is now erected. There's the fight down Ivy. Rez already out through the smoke at teammate. Slen's got the opening pick. Rez now stuck. So fortunately that smoke comes up and he can back away.
Dexter has just spammed down through smoke, so Falcons actually have no information of what's happening in Ivy. They're really paranoid. Molotov goes out through the smoke. It's Tesses who's going to pick it up to get the information and call it clear. But GamerLegion's already been gone from this position for like 10 seconds, rotating around the map. So Falcons playing blind on this CT side. Magisk's just going to delay, looking for information out of the corner, drop the smoke, and call for a teammate to shift over. Kixin and NiKo just now getting aggressive towards Pop Dog to have a nice flank towards that inner bomb site, but Magisk has to live. And Tesses is going to start wrapping around. He's kind of cheating back, but hasn't fully decided. It feels like Falcons know, but they're not super confident.
Yeah, great grenade though from Magisk. He's going to pull it back, and then Kixin spotted the bomb. So that's a huge kill to find, because now you've got to get the bomb back. NiKo's now in the brown halls. How do you lose this one if you're Falcons?
I don't know. They'll find a way. PR finds a kill. NiKo trades him off 1 for 1, and can't win the follow-up fight. But still, GamerLegion doesn't know about Magisk.
Yeah, Tauson's position could be really impactful back. Oh, step. Tess is down below him. He's got this kill. 10 seconds. Tauson! How? How has he got away with that? That is ridiculous. He can't believe it either.
I told you they'd find a way. I mean, it's really awkward timing, the movement from Tauson, the footsteps he makes. I mean, Tessis is watching lower ramp and then looks up and misses the kill at lower ramp. And they just kill each other's opponents. It seems like the fights are going to go the other direction, but Tauson is able to find the kills easy with nobody looking at him. What a brutal turn of events.
Dude,
and a round that it feels only Falcons. I'm not even upset.
No.
It feels like a round that only Falcons could find a way to, maybe G2, maybe add them in there. Maybe Liquid we can add into that category.
That's so devastating. GamerLegion love it though. Tauson, he's pulled back some big rounds already. He had the pistol in the first half. Now he's going here.
That's two like really silly losses and really critical rounds for Falcons now.
Yep.
The post plant.
How many of those can you get away with
in the first half? Now the problem is they've come out at such critical moments that I don't think you can recover from them. It's like not only are they just like silly boneheaded losses, but they've come in like a round where you were going to reset the defense's money, where you're going to take their cash away from them. Now it's taken you, trying to get started in this second half.
Just knocks you off your feet. NiKo and Rez have been going for that window spam battle for this entire game so far. NiKo down to 40 HP off of it. It's going to be a B hit. 3 players here defending for Falcons. Magisk is up first. He's played on top of the ladder. And you got Dexter just spotting for him. But it's only a scout. NiKo going to play in below him.
Yeah, that scout and do an MP9 combination would be great. Okay, they wanted to do a timing push. NiKo even joined him up the ladder, so they might do a bait and switch. Magic's going to go for it. Now NiKo swings. He can't line up the double, and Dexter's gone down as well. So bomb site lost, and Tess's kicks and rotate over, and what surely is going to be a losing scenario.
Oh, great shot from Slend. And yeah, it's all done. It's clean. Slend with 3 at the end. And GamerLegion are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Some fine rifle work there from Slend. Good to see him playing well for GamerLegion. He's been a little inconsistent recently. 15 and 9 for Slend in this game. We saw some of those alt misses. Ash has talked about, thinks there's been a loss of confidence that's preventing Slend from going for the plays that we know he likes to make, his impactful, aggressive plays. He's kind of slid away from it, but here delivers and gives GamerLegion an 11th round, and they're the ones who have accomplished the economic break of Falcons defense.
It's Falcons saving some money over for the next round, but almost guaranteeing that they will be down at map point. Tessas falls first. What I love about this GamerLegion team is that when you look at the players they've picked up, they pick up the players that aren't even necessarily the standout from their tier 3 rosters or their semi-pro teams. You know, these are players who are the leftovers from even those squads. You know, ZTR, we all know his history within the Young Ninjas and then going into NIP for a while.
Sure.
Kind of got hung out to dry. Didn't have a lot of success after the NIP team. He's been brought back and given a great chance here under Ash. You look at Tauson. He was a player that was playing in that Masonic team with Buzz. And Buzz
yes, that Masonic team.
Yes, everyone knows that one.
Yep.
Inspired by the Freemasons, Jason. That's what it says on their Twitter.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, I gotta look into them.
Yeah, exactly. Buzz was on that team, and he was just kind of the aggressive solo player, was obviously the shining light of the team.
Yeah.
So the bigger organizations, if you're looking to pick someone up, they go for him. Whereas Tauson was more of that supportive element of the team. And GamerLegion, I like how they choose these pieces instead of just going with, you know, this guy looks like he's the star of this team and pick him up. It's actually some thought process into it, and maybe they've been misused throughout their career.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, that's got to go down to the scouting of Ash and his ability to rebuild this roster each and every time. And obviously now you added in the 1973 MVP of Rez, which is just a spectacular pickup and a resurgence in his career as well.
Maybe he could bring it back. You know, he gets another MVP. We had back. Oh, yeah, there's the strap book.
That looks like a panda bear.
That's Thomas the Tank Engine.
Is that Thomas the Tank Engine?
Yeah.
That's close to a bear.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, in a way.
It has a face.
In a way.
It's big. Maybe he's giving us a strap. Maybe they're gonna rush B down past Thomas.
Yeah, it's possible. 12-5. It's about that time of the game for an ego call. 7 chances for GamerLegion to close out this first map of the quarterfinal series at PGL Bucharest. Falcons Back-to-back series where they've shown some real struggles against this squad. So far across 3 maps of play between these two teams, Falcons have only put 8 rounds on the board total.
Molotov towards Testis' feet. He'll peek into the open and win that fight against PR. So Falcons 5v4 for the time being. How long can they maintain the advantage? Kixan does a good job at fending off the attack into main.
Trying to make the unexpected play. You wouldn't expect the CT to push in a T mid after you just engaged him around the edge of the smoke, but Kixan's done just that. He's got NiKo joining up with him. 3 players wrapping around through Ivy. It's taken some time to get this set up. But Tessis swings into the open 1 for 1. And that's the bomb spotted as well.
NiKo already pushed deep in towards main, so no way Reds can get past him. And you've got Tauson and Slant. With 30 seconds left, stuck 2v4.
Yeah, it's time to save. I think they're on the option.
Doesn't look like that's a chance because NiKo's around the flank. Looking to keep them pinned with that Molotov as well. It goes into the open. Tauson will fight through him.
Yeah, thought it was going to be the AWPer, and AK steps in. Nicely done from Tauson to give his teammate, his AWPer, a little bit of safety, a little bit of cover, a little bit of space. Falcons get up to 6. And careful about losing that extra weapon. No need. You don't really have the money to go for a hunt, so Falcons back away.
Counter-terrorists win.
High fives all around, going into round 19. Falcons trying to bring this CT side back. They need 6 more. Boost up for Slen. Smoke is broken. Gets no vision through Sandwich.
Oh, PR. Down to 28 health. Kixan's already pushed into main, and quite a bit of control here for Falcons to kick off this round. And with that kill through the smoke and the damage done to PR, that's a lot of success for Dexter and Ivy without even seeing an opponent.
Yeah, it's a great start. 5 on 4. Defense can be comfortable in kind of this default spread, 3 outside, 2 inside. Oh, the creep through. Magisk just gets his gun out in time and reacts perfectly. Nade towards upper ramp, not necessary. Tauson comes through the smoke for 1. It's him and PR against the world.
40 seconds left on the clock, and the bomb not in the possession here of Tauson. He can't commit to the plant yet.
And PR's not even anywhere close. He's got no support here. So this is kind of all on Tauson. And now with his flank, yeah, there's just
in the shadow.
There's no way to stop this.
Got the kill. And Falcons keep this one pretty clean. They only lose Magisk. Back-to-back rounds where Ivy has been the success point here for Falcons. You know, Tessis in the previous round was able to get 2 kills from Ivy.
I mentioned this yesterday. Ivy just feels like a really hard place to put like a significant number of your forces. Like outside of the first 20, 30 seconds of a round, if you're not going for a pick or not trying to scale it quickly, it just seems like it's so risky because it chews so much time off the clock, walking multiple people out there in the mid-round. And if you don't have success and it's just a very sketchy zone, it's like you have a lot of resources there that are bottlenecked and kind of going to waste. GamerLegion give it a good shot. Starting with 3 there this round, but getting pushed back by Dexter. So 7th round for Falcons, and running out of funds is GamerLegion's attack. They still have some saved weapons, the AWP and AK from the previous round. But outside of that, shouldn't have too much. Could see the effect of ZTR's knife from earlier in the half. He's got $1,500 more than all of his teammates.
Yeah, balling. And he's going to have an AWP thrown over. He can pass that on down the line, but Having to go to the timeout, having to go to the strat poke again. Obviously, the Thomas the Tank Engine picture wasn't enough to close it out immediately. Maybe they need a diesel.
It's kind of cool seeing them force buy in this round, though. I thought it would have been completely broken going for a save around this around those weapons they brought forward, but maybe that's the motivator to pick up some weapons. You have an AK and you have an AWP. 2 Tech 9s and a Galil now picked up around that saved weaponry. Round 20. Deep utility, deep nades.
NiKo running towards main again. Nearly an opening pick towards Ivy. This Res NiKo fight going down once more. And no one coming out of it dead. Tessa's getting inside of the smoke. PR's just crossed him. PR has wrapped around the back. Look at this. Oh, but he gets spotted. Dexter comes back at the right time. Oh, PR thought he had the winning move right there, but Magisk looking to try and keep them back as they leap through heaven down into the B bomb site. He's heard the drop. He spots the head. Can he get a kill? The answer to that is no. Tauson cuts through him. The plant is now waiting for GamerLegion as they look to try and close out Train. Falcons set up for the retake. 2 in connector. ZTR keeping Tessus back, but now he's exposed. Actually gets back behind cover in time. Missed shot from Slem, but Tauson still fragging. He's had such an impactful Train map here, and he doesn't look to slow down at all. No emergency stop as NiKo comes through. Tauson cast away. ZTR whiffs his lines, and now Dexter suddenly the only player left, and Slend is inevitable. A 13-7 win, another strong map victory from GamerLegion versus Falcons, this time in the quarterfinals.
Yes, and a reminder, of course, that was Falcons trying to find an arena where they could beat GamerLegion on. But so far at this tournament, they've played 3 times.
Dwindled, especially with what we saw in that first map as well. The miscues from Falcons, the 2 heartbreaking round losses that were just devastating, that prevented them from getting started in either one of the halves. And yeah, now facing the prospect of coming onto a map where GamerLegion has just spanked you earlier in the event.
Full start here.
Yeah, it really is. We're going to get a reset, I would imagine.
Well, it's a good chance that this might be the last map we watch this Falcons team, this current 5.
True.
This could be the last one.
Yeah, which is, I don't know, kind of a bummer, although the results haven't been there. It hasn't been super spectacular out of the gate. But, yeah, MongolZ coming in is going to change this. Obviously rumored to be happening this week, but who knows with both teams in the playoffs. Orgs can obviously, as long as they're staying in the playoffs,
well,
might delay things a little bit.
It might be an announcement in maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah, true. It also could get released in 45 minutes.
It's just someone sitting there on the button, ready to go. But
yeah, we were just talking in the green room too. I've been like impressed with the way Dexter's come back out of his extended time away from professional Counter-Strike. I think there's parts of his games that I've been critical from over the years, but obviously the impact that he can provide is unquestionable. So I think he should have no problem finding a home after MongolZ takes his position in this team.
Depends what the, it's a fresh contract, isn't it? So that could be.
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Well, we'll see. Straight into Banana. GamerLegion looking to create some space towards NiKo, who has a smoke ready to drop. He's also got plenty of teammates behind him. This could be a deadly B setup.
Yeah, but it's all about the timing of his util. They're going to have to disrespect it and come through, so you'd hope Magic's dually is going to be set up.
Well, Magisk ready to go. Joel Berettas out for the first peek. He instantly goes down, but luckily they've got NiKo, and he's clean. Got that final headshot as well with the last bullet. PR 1v4. Nearly cut off Tessus on the rotation. Unable to land the headshot, and so has to finish him off eventually, but still so many targets to collect here for PR. 50 seconds to do so, now getting peppered from CT. So he's held, focused on that fight against Dexter.
Yeah, no super big concern that Dexter's on his own because the bomb's all the way back at the B bomb site. So even if he gets that kill, Dexter just has to play it smart. And look at them, time running out, 30 seconds. He's doing his best to pull him into the open and find some 1v1s. Challenge the B site, turn around when Dexter takes his chance to be aggressive. And that's a nice headshot to close it out. But that pistol round is all NiKo. Playing off Magisk inside the fountain. Good smoke, good counter utility. Him and Kixon combined for 4 kills. And the Falcons have a pistol.
Yeah, bomb plant disallowed as well. So no extra money for a force buy here for the side of GamerLegion. So great work from NiKo. The initial distraction from Magisk. And using that pillar perfectly. So GamerLegion coming in this one, just Glocks. Best case scenario is they somehow fight their way towards a bomb plant. But for Falcons, it's got to be about keeping it clean and getting that 2-0 lead, making sure they limit casualties here and build money. They need to get off to a great start just to get back into this series. I mean, I felt like at Train, they had their opportunities to get into the game.
And that's got to be the big difference here, is when you have those opportunities to establish the fact that you have control of the map, or when you have the opportunity to break the momentum of GamerLegion, you have to capitalize on it. You can't have the round slip away, especially not in the fashion that they did, which is just like self-owns on Train. That's not only going to make you lose the round, but make you pretty miserable inside the server. Probably going to destroy the mental of Falcons if they're not careful, so we'll see how they can continue on Inferno. Should be an easy mop-up with this crossfire. Unarmored Glocks coming into the equation. M4 has the first. Tesses, he wants to get aggressive. He knows what's on the other side of that wall, and he wants the bonus cash. He's got 3 and a second for Falcons. Now, one of the issues Falcons defense had against GamerLegion in their group stage matchup was the ability of GamerLegion, it feels like, to just march up middle and take it bracket control and take top mid control like whenever they wanted. Even when there was a crossfire, even when there was a 3-man defense, they found ways to break it up, they found ways to get the kills, and Falcons simply just couldn't win any of the fights. Now, it's not going to be as easy as it was last time with that 13-2 scoreline. But Falcons need to make sure they put a stop to some of those early mid attempts from GamerLegion and just show them. Just let them know that those same tactics aren't going to be as effective and make them have to actually think and get challenged. So the early tests from GamerLegion at the A-bomb site, in my mind, are going to be critically important that Falcons show they can stop it, unlike the group stage match.
Thanks for stepping up, and PR just looked away. He's going to be frustrated about that timing.
It's a good start for what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
Tesses.
Oh, he got away. Yeah, he
got around.
Corner, but ZTR looks pretty honed in on it at the moment.
Dexter sliding over.
Clear it, but Rez back turn. Trade at least there, but low HP to that arm of Dexter. Nearly getting caught, but Falcons stay up. They get into the archway with a bomb. They could be split this, but there's a double push down Banana at the moment for Falcons that Tauson's going to have to deal with. He's got that kill on NiKo. If he can grab Kixon, that should be the round. But Kixon tucks into the corner. Gets an important kill, switches out to the AK-47, and that bomb has no other choice. It has to stay committed to B. They can smoke off Banana, get into the site, and there's a 3v2 retake for Falcons.
Little spam through. Kixon's just got to hold on to his position. His teammates, Dexter and Magisk, are taking a long time to rotate over. Just coming down to the base of Banana now. So all 3 players retaking from Banana. Where does Kixon and Dexter place this smoke? Coffins for one, CT for the other. And here we go.
Oh, bang. Dexter's gone. Damage as well onto Kixon. This already difficult retake is starting to look impossible, and Slent his way to the back of New Box. Time is ticking away, and so they retreat. They go back down Banana. They concede this one, and GamerLegion push through to their first round victory on the T side of Inferno.
Yeah, good round win for GamerLegion. That one feels improvised. It felt like they wanted to actually attack towards Rap side, but just called that mid to B split because that's what they felt was most available to them at the moment, with Dexter's presence over towards Moto Pit, Magisk over in the cup, or excuse me, over in the cubby was Tess's. That crossfire had been a little bit more impactful. The round likely gets shut down, but a really, really good mid-round find from GamerLegion and a 2v3 post plant. The nade is the deciding factor, taking out Dexter and making it impossible for Falcons to break in for the retake. So AWP now in the hands of Dexter on the CT side. That's going to be brought in for the first time. And a pretty critical round to decide who's going to be in control of the map and the money for the next few rounds, as both teams out of cash after this bye. That's unfortunate too, because what I was talking about sort of happened. Falcons did show a strong mid defense. Dexter gets the kill on PR over in Boiler. The crossfire finds a kill, prevents them from attacking Rap side, but GamerLegion still just find the winning recipe. Here we go. Kicks in on MP9. Up on Dexter, M4s for the rest of the defense. On the T side, it's a MAC-10, a Galil, and 3 AK-47s. Teams kitted out pretty strong, pretty equal. And Dexter takes a peek down middle, sees nothing. Wants to go for the ult mid-peek. and finds a tag on Rez. 17 HP.
Oh, Rez. Frustrating start for him. Getting caught as he nearly got away. Just another step and he would have been beyond that spam.
I like this setup though, this follow-up setup after the smoke spam.
Yeah, 2 players sticking around. PR might just fall victim to this too. Even if he gets 1, I think he's realized that that's not a fight he wants to take. So that's the best case scenario for PR is he jiggles out, he gets info, and then he doesn't commit to it, disrupting the setup from Falcons.
NiKo's shifted back to the A bomb site. They brought the op of Dexter over towards B to hold the angle. Kixon's got counter utility off Dexter's shot. And he might get a chance at it. A couple flashbangs if they want to pre-flash the angle, but that'll be the trigger for Kixon to drop his util and delay this attack. 2 Molotovs in a smoke for these B defenders, so GamerLegion gonna have a tough time. If they don't get a clean kill on Dexter, this could get rough. They could get stalled out.
Oh, Dexter, missed shot. Went over the top of the crouching player. 34 seconds left. Kixon still waiting at first oranges. They came over the top, and he just can't deal with it. There was too many targets possibly coming in front of him, but that shot back through the smoke keeps them going, but Dexter was not ready for PR to be so deep on that push.
Yeah, needs to be more prepared for that follow-up play, but that's good control now for the T side of GamerLegion. Have control all the way deep towards Ruins. It's all on the flank now.
Yeah, CTR even gets 1 here. It should be wrapped up, but with NiKo taking that headshot, PR being forced into the open. Falcons still on this, and it's NiKo dragging them through, keeping them in this fight, but PR looking to step up. The first knocks down the second, and Magis just goes into the site, but PR's long gone. Defuse stuck, it's the full stick. Magis holds it, Pillar protects him, and the defuse stuck by Magis is enough for the Falcons' victory.
Oh, what a bailout save from Magisk. That's crazy that he's able to get that. Hidden behind the fountain, a nice 1v3 attempt from PR, but falls at the final hurdle. Magisk realizing he's so protected. But they're not out of it yet. Falcons survive with, or they win the round with 0 players surviving. They have to rebuy everything, and the money is not good. 2 MP9s coming out already, 2 M4s. Dexter is going to have a busted weapon as well, and GamerLegion still in a decent enough position to make a go at this round 5.
You still think PR is going to win that when he comes around and gets, because he is deciding to peek at the end. And then you see the Magic is perfectly positioned himself just for enough cover to make it too difficult to take him down in the final second. NiKo, though, this hard work, these 2 kills, the one behind sandbags, the one under the coffins, reopens the conversations for Falcons to even find themselves in this position.
We didn't really see like the execute from Kixon's POV. I thought that defense initially would be much stronger. Kixon up on first oranges, drops the molly after Dexter's shot. I thought he'd drop a smoke on top of the molly and just play on top of the boxes. Might have gotten blind and dropped down. But that drop down made it much more difficult as Dexter was isolated. Back towards mid we go. This time they've got AKs up against a FAMAS and an MP9, so weapon advantage to GamerLegion.
Rez sees the shoulder, and that's Dexter gone. GamerLegion with the advantage. Tauson only going to follow it up. He hears NiKo running down, who commits to it. Commits to going through that bottom banana smoke. Slan's been drawn back to look for Tesses. Magisk about to get traded on, but actually manages to get by, gets into the smoke, gets into the library.
They have no idea where GamerLegion has gone.
Yeah, and
so
NiKo's
weird.
so confused, but he peeks up, he gets the info. They knew that he was still bottom middle, so they just take a pause. They take a breather, and they find NiKo in mid.
And there, I mean, that is a good call from GamerLegion. Just like just a challenge. Not even really trying to mask it. Not even really trying to hide it. A nice flash to step through the smoke. The smoke they throw towards mid has a really, really thin layer of smoke on the left side, so it's an easy walkthrough. Once Dexter's dropped, I mean, that whole wrap side being exposed is such a weakness to Falcons on defense. They feel like they have to push B to make up for it. They don't really know where to rotate, and GamerLegion has so much control to just sit and wait and punish every reaction. This is Falcons being destroyed in terms of their economy, so no buy in the next round. A chance for GamerLegion early to establish control. 2-3.
Terrorists win.
Yeah, fantastic for GamerLegion to respond to that previous round loss where PR just about misses out on the round victory.
Falcons actually might force buy with this loss, breaking the economy. No losing bonus built up, so 5-7s coming in, Deagle coming in, MP9s as well. There's the opening from Rez. Dexter just never expected them to step through that smoke, was really confident in the safety it would have provided, but the rest of this round is literally just GamerLegion just working an L, wrap side towards brackets, back and forth, and picking off every Falcons player that's trying to figure out what's happening on the map.
Kixan dodging the brunt of that damage by just tucking a little deeper into the corner.
And you can bleed utility if you're GamerLegion now. You know you have the money advantage. You know they're going to run out of nades in the late round. So some early pressure forcing out a lot of utility. The half-wall smoke from Banana, that's an option if GamerLegion want to fall right back into it. Falcon's going to gamble and stack up at the A bomb site, but it's going to take a while for this to come in, and the hit is going to be there right before NiKo arrives.
Shot from Tessez, good peek from Magisk. So that's exactly the kind of opening they needed when they have some weaker weapons in play. You need a clean opening, upgrades available, and they don't really sustain any damage.
Yeah, and you can see on the other side of the map, Kixan just drops a smoke in B because he knows this is a really good timing for that B player, that B lurk, to try and find plan B, try and find an opening to bring his teammates back. So he's delayed as long as possible, but nobody's budged from Falcons because they still don't have information at A. They realize that GamerLegion can just be lining up to re-aggress at the A bomb site, but it's actually B. So all pressure on Kixan.
And it's a very quick pop for GamerLegion, so Kixan, this is going to be tough. His teammates still haven't rotated over. NiKo's now arriving with a deagle, trying to pull attention away, but Kixan, fantastic work. Double at the back of the site. But you can't really ask more of him at all. And now Slen trying to get away. The round's already done, and Falcons, the decision to buy, kind of forced into it, but they win it convincingly.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect. Tessez gets that headshot, and then it's that moment to spring for the MP9 who's been waiting for it that whole time. Once you secure those hulls and a split like that, you can see GamerLegion just like, we can't go forward. We just lose if we do that. This push coming in right after the kill. Rez has nades in hand and kicks in with everything to do. 1 versus 3 essentially at the bomb site, delivers some critical kills to close it out and take advantage of the good start. 4-2, guns back in the hands of Falcons.
AK'd around the corner. Tauson not afraid to get in the fight. And so NiKo peeled away from the Falcons' defense, and there's no trade until that peek from Kixan, and it's Rez that just catches a blinder.
That's a second really crappy round he's had. He was legged earlier and spammed down through smoke and cleaned up. Now just takes a stray headshot for no good reason. And he wasn't even the one aggressing. It was Tauson brought down to 16, so that's actually quite a disaster. You lose a player and one other guy's got red HP. And once again, Falcons putting a lot of faith in Kixan, defending Banana alone. Molotov is the last piece of utility he's got in his kit. He's got another one stockpiled for him as he falls back.
Oh.
He's doing this right now because that's just when Tessez is communicating that he's peeking brackets to see if there's mid presence.
Yeah, but they can just go right through this. So Kixan flashed. Hit a big round in the previous.
What?
Oh my god, he's got lucky bullets in this round. He's a sign up for the lottery. Into the site, a lot of damage being done. Plants coming in. And Falcons, they've got a retake, but against two extremely low players.
Where does Magisk put this nade? It would kill either one of these players if he can find the right spot. Might be chucking it out towards New Box, where nobody's home.
Gotta be so quick on this first kill. Tauson can't get it done. Slend to be cleared out by Tessez. Kixan again. Back-to-back big B holds.
Back-to-back very fortunate bullets just going through the smoke as well. Game's given him a couple in these past 2 rounds. I mean, if you're GamerLegion too, there's a certain level of frustration because you're like, I mean, we're making the right calls. We're finding the solo defender. We're attacking just one guy.
So BS,
it's just like, what are we supposed to do when he's able to pull out something like that?
Yeah.
Nice! Nice! Nice, Duncan!
Do it again. Then we'll call it skill.
Yeah, right. One more. If you do it 3 times, we can't argue.
Well, that has just thrown the money into the bin for GamerLegion.
Look, it's good to see Falcons win a round like that, because that's the rounds they all lost on Train. That's the round GamerLegions took away from them. So in a map like this, where they're starting to put it together and it's starting to look good, and they want to force a third map, this is a nice glimpse. Magisk
Getting a DM.
brawling a little bit in Boiler, and brings it down to just Rez.
Yeah, how many kills can Rez get from this position? He's got an AK picked up, minute 20. Try and make it expensive. Just gonna be patient and hang around, see if Falcons make any mistakes.
He'll get what he's looking for eventually. If maybe like 20 more seconds before I think Falcons might start to get the idea that they want to start figuring out if he's nearby, if he's still going for it, if he's backed off the save. Those pushes don't come on the timing that Rez wants, so he starts to make his move.
Yeah, Falcons have everything covered. I think this position is going to be too strong to get past NiKo. Going to make sure that he's got it. And 4 players stay up for Falcons, building the money now into the later stages of this first half. Preventing a bomb plant.
Starting to build into a Falcons that can contend. Took a map.
Yeah, weren't there on Train, missed their chances.
Yeah, they've woken up afterwards. 6-2 here on Inferno. Keep in mind, the last time these two teams played it in the group stage, a 13-2 victory for GamerLegion.
Yep, just 3 days ago.
Complete role reversal here in Bucharest. 3-man start for the B defense for Falcons. Tessus just drops util for him and backs away back to the A site. AK-47's back in the hands of GamerLegion, and they're taking control of halls.
Missed shot from Dexter on the peak. Super important kill for PR to grab in the apartments.
They might just pick up the pace off this and take brackets.
And they're going to rotate back over, but actually they cancel the rotation over to the A site. Feeling like they might need to commit into a 2-2 setup, because GamerLegion could go either way.
Remember, the last couple times they've hit B in situations similar to this, they found it with only Kixin. So they're probably thinking again.
And they've got NiKo this time, though.
A third player rotating over for Falcons as well.
Oh, NiKo easily grabs the first. Why I say easy, it was a little labored. And ends up getting taken down in response by ZTR. Tessas arriving now to go through that smoke, combined with Kixan's contact. This time, Kixan can't get anything, and it's Tessas to try and fight his way back into it. Goes into the banana fight, can't manage that second kill, and leaves Magisk 1v3. And they aren't going to let this one go.
I admire the attempt from Tess's. It's a little nerve-wracking. You come out of that smoke and you expect people to be looking at you, and you never know where that fight is going to come from. If that first spray is a little bit cleaner, gets that kill quicker, might be able to double up in the bomb site. But it's a tough fight to really settle yourself and go for the easy shot, go for the clean shot. So once again, back to the B bomb site. This time, Kixin doesn't have any heroics. A third round for GamerLegion. We had a drop out of the server from a Falcons player, so we'll get him right back in. That's Dexter. He has rejoined off of his crouch peek and halls. But Falcons had the read. NiKo advanced towards sandbags, kicks in the bomb site. A third player shifted over. Defense still can't hold. NiKo coming into this match today, the third best player of the event. He's dropped off after that first map, but came into it performing very well for this Falcons team.
Being the third best player of the event after losing both your opening series in such dominant fashion.
Yeah, he's coming into this averaging a 1.22 series rating.
Crazy. I think you expect that from NiKo, like we've become used to it, but it's the fact of how slow they started that makes that very impressive. GamerLegion getting through top mid.
And this has been a massive pressure point when they're able to gain this kind of control top mid for free, especially with the minute and 15 seconds on the clock. We have to look and see how Falcons is going to manage the information they're playing with their rotations. They're sliding a fourth player back Kixin is going to come over. Dexter alone with the AWP and Banana.
Yeah, leaving the responsibility on the B defense on his shoulders.
This round is a more planned mid to B split.
Yeah, Dexter's gotta at least just get one here and stay alive. If he stays alive, then he's a problem later into the round. But the flash comes in, Kixan lets one go by. Second would be fantastic, but can't manage it. Missed shot from Dexter, but he stayed alive. He gets back into the bomb site, so it can still be a problem a little bit later on, but the pressure's up. Dexter hits that first shot on the continued push, and eventually traded by Tauson. Manages to fight out ZTR's lurk on the other side of the map. He wins it, and that frees up this retake.
Look at Tess's. He's already at half wall up Banana. This timing, I don't think they'll expect. Bomb going down back of the fountain. Slen takes
Bombs
the
out.
angle and can't scope in time. It's only Tauson remaining.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Tauson, side of the smoke.
That deep smoke is real suspicious as well.
Yeah, they know they've got to clear this position. So Util's going in. Tauson has got to hope that they run on by, but he's not exactly clean on that first kill. Thought NiKo might have checked him. I'm sure if he could go back, he would let NiKo continue to walk forward.
Well, also, again, it's kind of similar to that Tess's attempted retake a few rounds back where you're in this position. You know Tess's is coming from Banana. He can spot you when he crosses into the bomb site if he looks towards CT.
Yep.
You got two players coming.
You got a timer on your life.
Yeah, it's really kind of hard to like build it up in your head of like, all right, trigger discipline on the first guy, give it 3 seconds, let the second guy come. Yeah, tough scenario to be in. 7-3. It's a 4-round lead for Falcons. This CT side has looked great. Much, much better than what we saw on Train.
And think of some of those close rounds earlier in the half that on Train definitely would have went against Falcons, but go that way. You know, we're talking the stuck defuse inside of the B bomb site where Magic just at the last second confirms the defuse. You know, those are the kind of rounds that GamerLegion were winning. And that's given Falcons a round here. You get Kixan having a couple of rounds where he goes huge, maybe gets a little luck involved.
Yeah, those were like the individual performances that were going towards, they're swinging towards GamerLegion in the first map, and Falcons has gotten a couple here.
And that can just change your game entirely. Last 2 rounds of this first half. GamerLegion are coming into this one pretty bruised. You know, you still got Galil's on 2 players, 2 AK-47s, AWP for Slant. Lack of utility here and there. Dexter peeking down Banana could have made it a lot more difficult for GamerLegion. Doesn't land his shot.
Sound cue as Slend hops up onto the balcony. The defense has fallen back. Magisk and Tess is positioned in lane earlier, but don't want to keep track of the smoke. Pop flash peek in towards Halls. That'll be a sound cue over for GamerLegion. PR letting him know they just cleared Halls. And giving time for Slen to secure a position over in Boiler to help support any kind of a mid-take. They want to establish that presence. So left side smoke. Molly under Balk. Standard util for the take and quietly moving into position.
Quickly trying to get away from that grenade. Slen's taking a dink on board. He's down to 16 HP. Staying committed as PR at the balcony, but the smoke comes up. He gets the peek just before it plumes. Gets information and a lot of damage on Tess's, but no kill.
Not a lot of utility. You mentioned GamerLegion, a bit of a busted buy. They had good weaponry, but 2 smokes and a flash remaining. They just deployed one at Moto. NiKo playing in front of it. 3 defenders at the bomb site itself. 1 pit, 2 bomb site. It should be a lockdown hold for Falcons. They look great.
That is definitely what happens here. 4 players stay up for Falcons. They only lose 1 towards the end. And the best case scenario on Inferno is a 4-round T-half here for GamerLegion. And it's tough to even really see that happening because they're already weak on the weapons in that last round. They haven't been getting many bomb plants.
Yeah, I mean this has been lovely from Falcons when you think about it. They've done a good job of minimizing the damage they've taken from this mid control, which they couldn't do during the group stage. They've obviously had a conversation. They've had some very good reads and some very timely rotations throughout this half. Final of the first half, 8-3.
And we're looking at a UMP. 4 Tech 9s. Missed opportunity for Dexter, but he'll just drop back. gonna be tough to get in a position to even get a bomb plant here, GamerLegion, with how the rest of this half has gone.
I don't know. It feels to me like they want to hit a pretty deep execute at the A bomb site and really kind of hustle into an attack up lane right now with these Tech 9s and with the UMP. They want to be really mobile, and there's only 2 defenders here, and they're really split off from each other. Magisk is going to have a lot of love coming his way.
NiKo sprinting down Banana, getting in behind quickly, so sees that utility being fired off. Under a minute left, and yeah, Matt just gets a whole lot of love towards his position. He doesn't even get to see anybody. He doesn't get to fight. Dexter gets a kill and damage done onto a follow-up player. So that bomb plan will be coming through. And this res fight, this could decide the round. And Tesses and NiKo combine in tandem with a grenade heading into the bomb site. It's Slend with heroics required and unable to get into a winning position. So Falcons come out of the first half of Inferno 9-3 up.
Yeah, probably a conversation between maps for Falcons of how nobody was really locked in. Nobody really focused up enough to prevent the miscues. This map, everyone's playing these post plants really, really well. Built some momentum. Everyone started playing strong, smart, waiting for each other, and it's a nice 6-round lead for Falcons going into the halftime. They're going to switch over to the attacking side. GamerLegion to defense. GamerLegion looking to impress in their first playoffs of 2025. Quarterfinals at PGL Bucharest. Third and deciding map, if Falcons can take us there, would be Ancient. The map they booked their playoffs berth with a win in overtime over the MongolZ just last night. We didn't have to see GamerLegion's CT side in the group stage by virtue of such a good beating of Falcons. They only played 3 rounds in the second half on defense.
Well, let's hope it's better. let's hope it's very strong. Otherwise, this is about to be a very quick victory for Falcons.
All right, well, GamerLegion have a little bit of a plan, it feels. Smoke nade on Slend, double flash nade on ZTR. Dropped a flash. Looks like they want to double nade Banana. And actually, this might be perfect.
Charges in. Oh, okay. That is one way to tear through the defense. Tess says.
For Tesses.
Yeah, he just charges in. 2 headshots, no problem. 10 rounds Falcons.
Yeah, I guess. Do you save? Oh, man. Taking his time to find the sweet spot in the fountain is NiKo. And yeah, you ain't retaking this. You might as well just save this armor because you get the free upgrade for head armor as well. You're going to need it in the next round. So much focus, I think, for GamerLegion, ZTR, and Slend of coordinating the grenades in the right spot. Tess has just gained way too much space too quickly. He never slowed down. So an easy pistol. And double digits for Falcons now, looking like they're going to close out Inferno.
So many bullets. Eventually, they take Dexter down. Anyway, bring it back to what you said earlier at the start of the series, and what Ash realized coming into this game was it's not going to be the same match the whole way through the series as it was just a couple of days ago. And you can see that already just with the turnaround. It's night and day here for Falcons.
That had to have been the philosophy he's been beating into these guys since they woke up this morning. That had to have been part of every conversation. Don't expect it to be as easy. Don't expect them to just roll over and give us the wins. We're going to have to fight for this. And you know, for a guy who's kind of mentioned that he thinks with his team, 80% of their problems are mental, are based in the mentality. A quarterfinal match, you have a good first map, you get spanked on the second one. Now we get to see what their mentality is going to be like. Whether they can recover the way Falcons did between maps. ZTR wants to get aggressive, smokes off the Molotov, pushes with a flashbang, 2 for 1 in the favor of Falcons. And now a 4-on-3 advantage for the T side.
There's so much time, so they don't really have to commit anything just yet. So they take a pause. And Rez takes a few steps back into a CT. Now it's looking pretty likely we go to map 3. It's Ancient. That'll be coming up. If Falcons are able to close on this. And they look to close this round on the B-bomb site. Silently slinking their way towards the site. They haven't made contact yet.
I know. You can tell they've had so many heartbreaks because they're just like, they're making sure every detail is covered. Rez tries to pounce as the smoke plumes. Not able to get anything done, so back away, save the weapons. GamerLegion have one of those terrible, awful decisions to make that you never want to make, which is, do we save and let them get 12? Do we buy and try and keep this alive and try and keep the dream of winning in regulation there? No right answers. 11-3 for Falcons. Ancient is looming on the other side of this map.
Terrorists win.
14 kills on Tess's, but NiKo, Kixen, and Magisk all tied at 10. On the GamerLegion side of things, you've got PR leading the way with just 9 kills. Tauson right there with 8 as well, but they've been quiet in the fragging department, leading to this very painful scoreline. And Falcons now on the T side have the momentum in terms of the rounds won. They've got early economic control. They've got a huge advantage in terms of weaponry and economy. It's GamerLegion trying to come back, put their foot down, stop this run from Falcons, and try and embark upon a comeback of epic proportions. But they've got to do it in this round without a whole lot of grenades to work with. They're just missing so many of the bells and whistles that you'd like.
This time it's GamerLegion who kind of got rattled by those first half rounds where they felt like they should have won and never really stabilized, never really got back on their feet.
It's probably been a huge talking point. I mean, Ash has alluded to that a number of times. I have to imagine, like, you get into a map like this and you lose some of those rounds, and in the back of your head, you're like, I know this has been a talking point. We need to win these post punts. We need to win these 4-on-3, these advantage rounds, and we've let them slip away. It can build on you for sure. A little bit of an extended break between rounds, probably a small tech issue that's been resolved. Freeze time counting down into round 15. Falcons have that 8-round lead, and they've got everything needed to continue this march towards a third map. 2 M4s on the board, a FAMAS on PR, shotgun and MP9 on Tauson and ZTR for GamerLegion to defend. Not a bad buy to scrape together, all things considered.
A Mag 7. It's going to play at the half wall. In terms of finding positions for it to be effective, this is one of them. The Falcons are in no mood to continue to push through that smoke.
I think the bigger problem is the MP9 as your supportive element right behind it. Yeah, we obviously know it can be effective, but it's 2 of the weaker weapons to stop this. Shotgun jumping, goes for the peak. There we go, nicely done. Nade cleans out ZTR. Now, oh, baby, Tauson makes it look awesome.
ZTR got blasted away, so Tauson had to do everything, and the Mag 7 showing it's the Swag 7 in this round. That is huge on the jump button. Now Slang comes around with a double clean. That is filthy.
Oh, yeah, we take that. Good job from Tauson. What a way to steal a round away.
All right, you got one of those.
Yeah, you
got to build now.
You only get one of those per map. Oh,
how do you just keep getting away with it?
I mean, you don't expect that jump too often, do you? NiKo's trying to trade it out, forced out by the Molotov. Good utility usage. It wasn't the MP9, it was the nades on his back in support of that Mag 7. And yeah, smiles on the face of GamerLegion. They keep the dream alive. Still a long way to go, 7 rounds back. 9 rounds away from winning the map. And a timeout, a second one called by Falcons. I mean, calm it down after that. That can be devastating. So yeah, let the boys breathe for a minute. Let them calm down. Let them get back and settle into their focus. And
dude, if GamerLegion come back and win this, and that was the catalyst, the Mag 7.
I know, quite the highlight, wouldn't it?
Sick, guys. Let's go. Nice, boys. Nice. Let's go, boys. Round by round.
Round by round. Let's see how many we got left in this game. Falcons so close to converting this Inferno map victory.
Rez, a good peek out into middle, a second kill picked up, and so the rifle has put them in a good position, and the AWP will impale Tesses and NiKo. That is a quick response for GamerLegion, and that kind of back-to-back success might just be enough to ignite the engine.
Yeah, Falcons trying to punish the mid-peak behind that smoke. Both of them, Magisk and Kixin, jumping through each side of the smoke and just not having nearly enough impact. But I'll tell you what, that's an emphatic win for GamerLegion. It's taken the money away from Falcons. They're going to have to sit back onto pistols. GamerLegion's going to start closing this gap. We might have a game on our hands out of that round. It looks like GamerLegion found a little bit of life in that timeout.
Okay, there's the NiKo D. Perhaps it could create an opportunity here because Slen is also low in HP. The Glock going through the fire. Slen needed to win that fight.
I don't even mind that from Tesses. You know you got the dink. You know you probably did decent damage to him. You've got a Glock. He's got an op. It would be so much better if you went out on that engagement. So it's worth the risk to try and clean him up, but couldn't land anything inside the fire. GamerLegion's got to be a little bit nervous. NiKo's Deagle taken off the head of Rez. AK-47 recovered as well. No utility for Falcons, so they're going to have to play the trade game. And it's a crossfire in middle.
And it is perfect. So PR, ZTR, don't let it go. 6 rounds on the way back here for GamerLegion, but the buy's going to return for Falcons.
Oh, well, let's see how much this 3-round streak from GamerLegion like has shook Falcons, like especially that first gun round that they just got obliterated in. I mean, you had the shotgun triple kill in one round, and then you had the mid presence that just destroyed everyone from Falcons in the next round. So let's see if you've been thrown off your game. Let's see if that's put a little bit of doubt into Falcons' attack, into their offense.
Well, now they come into it with 2 Galils as well, alongside those 3 AK-47s. Not a perfect purchase here for Falcons. Slen starting to get his confidence. This is a little risky for Slen, so he goes back to look at Boiler instead and gets that molly out into the bedroom. But Tesses got in front of it. Tesses got in front of it, chasing down the AWP. Rez culminates. Tesses gets traded eventually. Slend needed to get that kill back.
Yeah, that's really good, though, from Tesses. That makes him so nervous. One pick off in middle. Tauson, half HP. Slend brought low as well by Tesses' play. And from Boiler, he shakes up this defense. They've rotated a third player back, so they stand up in brackets. They have information. This is going to turn into a push. They realize Falcons have vacated the space to go back to Banana. They're going to push right down middle. It'll be Magisk who joins up with them. Is he going to be ready for the fight?
Not right now, but then he turns at the perfect time and catches ZTR walking towards him. So Falcons bursting through the B bomb site. There's no one in the site itself. Kixan, oh, he's going to win in the reload. And then he goes. It's a perfect play for Kixan to get through that smoke. Tauson gone, and GamerLegion's string of round victories has come to a close. PR takes a dink, he has to fall back, and Falcons get up to map point.
Yeah, really good play from Tesses. I mean, he just throws the whole defense, the whole round into disarray with that kind of chaos calls, puts so much panic Into ZTR and Slend. GamerLegion has to overcompensate, and the B bomb site is exposed and overrun. Plenty of money for GamerLegion to have a full buy in the next round, but I don't think they creeped close enough to make this comeback still doable. They need 6 rounds in a row to force overtime. And Falcons back away as the bomb goes off.
Terrorists win.
1 round away from Ancient. And a conversation before we begin round 19. Timeout called. 3rd and final for GamerLegion as Ash has one last conversation with his boys to get him fired up for an attempted comeback. AWP in the hands of Slend is a nice piece to have.
Team effort here from Falcons in terms of the impact on the kill feed, but Tesses, he's willing to do the dirty work. He is willing to throw himself into the fire, into the mud, and get some real impact here for Falcons. We've seen that in the previous round, that it might be enough now just to close this out. Double setup in the apartments, in the halls. Slend's coming up from Boilers, so 3 players total in this area. Magis is going to go in, but with nades in his hands as he rounds the corner.
I guess that nade made him feel like there wasn't actually presence in halls, but that seems a bit crazy to not be prepared for it whatsoever. Mid to B split coming in. They've invaded and infested CT spawn, and ZTR's committed on this rotation. You win or lose that fight in CT spawn, you can't go elsewhere, but the players isolate themselves. Tessis goes one way, Kixon goes the other.
And when they win that important fight against ZTR, they confirm that CT is now clear. And so it is Tauson who is left at B alone. His teammates are isolated over on the A bomb site. Dexter's going to catch a free kill here on PR, who just jumps over the top of him. They now know where Dexter is, but they have to waste time in dealing with him, which leaves Tauson still alone at B. And he gets 1 pick on Kicksand. Smoke up allows Tessis to get the bomb plant, but they know he's here alone, so Tauson feels like it's a 50-50 fight. He's going to go and take it, and he comes out on top.
Really good round from Tauson. Yeah, the awareness. I mean, you have to say Falcons goes a little bit early, too. They're smoking off Banana, but Kickson's actually the one who jumps the gun and steps out before the smoke has actually bloomed. So Tauson has an easy kill on just a MAC-10 trying to get into the bomb site. And a really good read of the situation of just taking the fight. Let Rez handle the lurk. You know you've got a one-on-one. As he's trying to plant the bomb, you've got an advantage. Falcons buy up again, but money's gone after this. So GamerLegion and MongolZ found the light at the end of the tunnel.
Slend into the peak, brings an end to Tesses. No scope up next. It was the only play he had. He couldn't feel comfortable to fall back. Wanted a second kill out of it, but Magisk overruns him. Dexter moves through the top mid smoke, and this might be it. This might just be Inferno, but Rez has other ideas. Oh, yeah. That is beautiful from Rez on the second headshot. Eventually overrun by Dexter, though. And once again, back in a position to close out this map.
Yeah, Dexter might just be the closer here on Inferno. Triple kill, unreal, beautiful shots from the AWPer of Falcons, doing it with the rifle. Thought Tauson might go through the smoke, but he'll slow it down. He'll wait for it to fade, and he'll play the 1v2 after the fact. He's got a kit, he's got a flashbang, he's got no smoke for the bomb. He needs to find both these kills, and he needs to get moving right now.
NiKo keeps his head tucked behind that pillar. Keeps the safety, pulls the distraction. Tauson with a relocation out to pit, but it's not enough to stop NiKo. Falcons fight back on Inferno, and they will send this quarterfinal to 3.
Yeah, shades of the series yesterday for Falcons here.
GamerLegion also played the previous series against VP, got a 13-7 win there. So I'm hoping we get a similar game that the Falcons had against the MongolZ, where we have to go to overtime.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, you'd hope this map a little bit closer between the two teams. I mean, both teams obviously stealing their opponent's map pick as well, but this is a little bit more in the wheelhouse of what should be a challenge for both teams in the sense they both have a similar win rate on it. So let's see what Falcons have got in store for us. Let's see what GamerLegion's got in store for us. Falcons, obviously, as you just mentioned, had that wonderful third map against Mongols to get to this point. And now trying to capitalize and win a playoff game here. Rez pushing up right into Magix. There's no... Okay, there is. They're going to let you fall back. They're happy to negate the push. Slend goes down at the end of everything. And this defense is under a lot of pressure.
PR nails that headshot. Rez trying to lock up 2 in the donut. And their heads eclipse one another, allowing him to topple 2. It is Kixan and Magisk. 2v4 recovery required. Will come out of A main. But the rotation's already here. Rez just firing off another one. And just so damn clinical from Rez.
Yeah, but they misplayed that attack in towards Donut. I think that's Tesses and Dexter playing together. There's no spacing, no real comms of which one's swinging and which one's going to fight the trade, and they really just kind of crouch into each other. It's a 2-on-1, but the way they swung makes this basically a 1-on-1. Rez doesn't have to like worry about a second player whatsoever.
They morph into just one.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to hype him up.
Yeah, hype everyone up after that. I mean, he did hit some absolutely banger shots after the double kill. Perfect pistol from Rez. And a 1-0 start. Only Glocks for Falcons, not even a plant, not even an upgrade of any kind into a Deagle. For Falcons, you're playing like a couple games right now, aren't you? You're playing this series, obviously, in the quarterfinals. You're playing against like an embarrassment that happened in the group stage against this team. But then when you think about the big picture around Falcons, you're also playing a situation where you know there's roster changes coming in. You know there's players on this team getting replaced who aren't going to be here for very long. You're also playing against all the noise from the outside in the sense that everyone wants to see Falcons fail. Everyone wants to see them play bad. Everyone's waiting for the moment to trash them. And you know that as a Falcons player, so you have that in your mind. And on top of everything, your coach is probably at the moment in his career where he's been the most embattled, the most critical, with the most eyes on him, calling him a fraud, one of the greatest coaches of all time. So if you're Falcons, you have a lot of things coming in from the outside that can make you really uneasy. And the only way to combat that is to just sink within yourself and just play within the team and doing their best to isolate all that crap from the outside.
Yeah, and there's even the smaller individual stories too, with the likes of Dexter who wants to, and Tessa, you know, perhaps even to show other squads what they're capable of. And Kixan just charging straight into his cave. ZTR's going to get caught, so Falcons with a faster play from Kixan opens up the proceedings with a man advantage.
Feels like an unforced error, though, from ZTR, just backing off constantly with, I mean, didn't want anything to do with that fight, pulling a nade out to try and stall it out, and Kixan is just happy to just continue hunting him down. M4 picked up for Kixan. And the hard thing for GamerLegion is you feel at the moment with the... Okay, hold the phone. Smoke broken, but NiKo actually had the advantage. You feel if you're GamerLegion right now like they could be up in cave. It's really hard to work up the courage to go clear that out at this stage of the round. But it's also something that you have to be constantly worried about. So 3 players at this B bomb site, but Falcons is still spread out and they can go anywhere.
NiKo slowly coming out of elbows, going to smoke out towards red. Now Tessus can feel comfortable enough to drop into middle with him. And this A setup, well, it's just Rez playing all the way back at CT spawn, and he has to worry about red and the A cross.
It's a save. He's not even really gonna challenge over at the A bomb site. Once he sees them go in, I imagine one standing fight, and it should be a back off from here. No one's moving from the B site. GamerLegion just saying, if you come B, we might stop you. You go A, you can have the round. We have 4 players alive still. All we need to do is drop 1 weapon over. Rez and PR and Slend all have the money for that. So GamerLegion's all good to just concede and try again in the 4th round.
Yeah, maybe the only world in which they go for that is if 2 players peek into their open and Rez somehow gets both, but not to be. Over in Inferno, it was very much the clutch situations that affected the outcome of the game to a massive degree, especially in the early stages where Falcons Well, a couple of big individual moments. You had Kixan early on. You had the Magis defuse stick. And they just happened at crucial points in the first half when it came to the economy game that allow Falcons to build up such a strong start in that first half. So both of our opening maps today have featured one-sided scorelines in the first half that kind of dictated the outcome. You know, if we see a back and forth here on Ancient and a closer affair going into the half, I think we're in for a fun second. Like, overall, just a fun final map here.
Should be. I'm in the mood for a scrappy map. I could really go for it. First quarter final of the PGL Bucharest playoffs. Next up is going to be 3D Max taking on FaZe as our second quarterfinal. The winner of this plays the winner of that on the same side of the bracket, just so you have an idea of how that shapes out. Complexity Aurora, third quarterfinal of the day, and G2 Virtus.pro to finish things off on the other side of the bracket for our quarterfinals. Long, long day of Counter-Strike to begin these playoffs. Round 4, GamerLegion come right back into it. They do drop that M4 over. Everyone's got good utility. They've got a kit on res. Could maybe use a couple more of those. For Falcons, another full buy out of their first round victory.
Yeah, you're right. Long day of Counter-Strike, but I'm glad we do, in this format, get 4 quarterfinals. I think it's very rare today that we get
Oh, it's a beautiful thing, Dinko. Yeah, I love a quad quarterfinal day.
QQ.
Yeah. Here we go. Instant smoke over towards window. Smoke and donut as well. Kixan going to challenge. Oh, he comes out very quickly. Gets close up to Red Room. And he's happy with his position at 1 minute and 40 seconds. So pleased. And oh, he's going to push.
Into the smoke. Through the red smoke. And he's got both. All right. Back-to-back rounds where Kixan's had early success from pushing a smoke or taking a risk. And this is what he can do as the in-game leader of the squad.
And last round, he got this opening pick over towards Jaguar, and he fell out of it. Now he's continuing forward to apply the pressure. He wants that next fight as well. Tauson gonna swing. Kixan can't win the fight, so they have control of Red Room now, but meanwhile, that means they brought resources away from the defensive A, and Falcons have found the avenue in. Smoke break?
Romania was sent in towards the bomb site itself once they realized it wasn't really going to cause them too many problems. Dexter then puts it down, and GamerLegion gonna have to give this one up again.
Yeah, they've kind of done everything they can, which is stick around and spam the smoke and hope you get lucky, but without that, you have to back away. Too early in the half to sacrifice your whole economy, and again, with the money on Slen and the money on Rez, you add in the bonus money, they're going to be able to get out another decent buy in the next round as well. But really, Falcons calling a good game, but back-to-back round wins where Kixan provides you the openings. Last round through Jaguar with a single kill, this time hitting a really quick timing to push the window smoke and find 2. Kixan the Warrior Falcons have needed to get them off to a hot start here on Ancient.
I've seen Tessa's kind of employing a similar style of play towards the end of Inferno as well, where he was willing to get in and around the utility, create space for Falcons. So they've got 2 players very capable of doing it at the moment, Kixan and Tessa's.
I'm really surprised GamerLegion's not dropping weapons over to the 2 players. Playing
with
a
that
longer,
extra money left over.
Yeah, playing a longer term economy game, maybe thinking they want the op out, so they don't want to force up here.
All the util.
And I mean, you do have 3 rifles, so you can still get the job done with this buy. Magic ain't gonna clear this. Tauson should have at least 1 for free.
Yeah, this is a strong position. Guaranteed at least 1 and a second. Well done from Tauson. Bomb goes down, gets a lot of info from that position.
And there you go. Now it makes this decision, you've come out on top in a way where you haven't risked all your money in the world with just these 3 rifles coming in. And now you have a 4-on-3 with still 2 rifles on the board and 2 pistols. So you can get this done if you're GamerLegion. NiKo gonna disrespect the smoke. Step right on through. He's got backup with him. And there's re-aggression from GamerLegion at A main. 2 more AK-47s to pick up. So GamerLegion now completely kitted out. And Dexter has no idea. Walks into the push from GamerLegion. That's the bomb secured. And Falcons may yet again stub their toe just as they're about to begin.
Tessa's trying to pull it back. He has 43 seconds to get that bomb. And he's missed the fight against Rez. So that's it. Pack it up. NiKo catches ETR looking the wrong way, but just such limited time for NiKo to truly make anything of this. Smoke goes down at elbow, and PR confirms the kill. And yeah, you're right. That is one of the rounds where You know, you should be winning if you're Falcons. You're going up against 3 rifles, 2 pistols, but GamerLegion are going to take that because they were saving for later stages, right? They were leaving extra money for the upcoming rounds, so they have really solid buys. But Tauson on that double kill early A main has given them so much cash to work with now on the CT side.
Yeah, it's really bolstered what GamerLegion can fight with throughout this half. That's given them quite a good buffer. Elbow smoke misses. It goes way, way too deep. But Falcons not with the idea to try and attack in middle, although NiKo might take the opportunity without that smoke. Happy to grab an angle and just hold for it. 2 players going to pressure the A-bomb site from the Falcons attack. Meanwhile, Tesses has control of B lane for the moment.
So the red smoke's up, the donut smoke's in, and that's going to allow NiKo to just about get over towards heaven. And then the Dexter peek into the Slend AWP at red.
Yeah, but you don't know about Rez. You think that was the Red Room player?
How do you clear
wrong.
Rez if you're Dexter without
you don't.
huge risk?
You do this because you don't think he's here. Ooh, you do
Oh my
clear it.
God, you do clear it. Dexter goes into that corner, Rez is gone. And that's the kind of risky play that Dexter's willing to take with the AWP. He backs his skill, he has confidence in those close quarter fights. We've got Falcons bouncing back here, 5v3.
And now, I mean, also, you have an AWP controlling the middle of the map. If you're GamerLegion trying to make it back and forth between A and B, that AWP has you so paranoid.
Shadow on the wall, cast aside as ETR. Unable to make the most of their previous round victory. They had Falcons on the ropes with their money, but they've come back swinging. All 5 players still alive at the 30-second mark of this round, and all they need to do is drop Tauson.
Plenty of time, and Tess is going to probe before the bomb follows up. So now they know. Good kill from Magisk after taking the dink. We're tied at 3. And a very important round for Falcons to respond in so that that money from GamerLegion didn't just balloon out of control.
Yeah, they're not a great spot at the moment, actually. Sled doesn't have a whole lot of money left over. Kind of figuring out what kind of buy can they actually put together here at GamerLegion. It's just going to be Deagles, 5-7s. We know these kind of rounds can still be potent, but Falcons have a great opportunity now to go into the lead. And they should be taking the lead.
All right, Dexter boosted up. Gets that angle out towards long, can cover a push, can get information. Very heavy lean for Falcons towards the B bomb site, and there's the pick. Slend gets pulled into a look and meets an AWP bullet. All the rotation from GamerLegion is over to the B bomb site, but Falcons have no motivation to try and attack at this point.
Close to another kill here for Falcons, but Dexter aren't able to land it onto the long peak. Could be a grouped up play to try and overwhelm the sniper, but still back Dexter to be able to handle this. They're just going to wait at the bottom of the ramp. One crouches in front of the other, and they even got Rez just peeking up on top.
This is going to be dangerous, though. They get the first kill and turn the corner with P250 5-7. You could be in for some trouble.
Well, let's see how it goes here. GamerLegion decide to go once the utility starts coming out. CTR gets 1. Kicks on to trade it back as the remaining members of GamerLegion retreat around the corner. Here's the shadow, here's the chance, here's the 5-7. A Deagle combo, body shots required. Couldn't get a follow-up. Tess says fights through. And PR all the way down in middle has got himself an AK-47, and that's a tantalizing save option. So he's got Kevlar utility and an AK. He's got to save that. And he's a long way off getting in a position to actually get this done with a lack of kit.
He knows the AWP was dropped at double doors, so he wants to go see if he can pick that bad boy up for free. Tantalizing prospect, maybe some exit kills available, though we can tell from the mini-map that NiKo and Tess is on the other side of Cube, have no desire to fall back here. The potential for PR to have this kind of a flank was there.
Yeah, the bomb would blow this up towards him too, so doesn't have to put himself in harm's way for long. Although with bomb blast, it's unpredictable. He might just hit that lip of the wall, so he actually just holds onto the AK, not wanting to put himself in too much risk.
And Rez has money for the AWP as well. Well, PR can also drop one over to his teammates, so they're going to be fine getting that weapon out regardless. Slend at 3,700 needs it bought for him. Falcons take a 1-round lead. Trying to go deep in the tournament here in Bucharest for the potential last ride for this roster. Instant smokes out, elbow smoke lands, red room smoke lands. Jaguars blocked off, but Falcons, there's no doubt about where they want to end this round. All 5 players towards the B bomb site, a change of pace.
Execute up smoke to cave, and Tess says happily taking that opening. How has he got away with a second? Tauson going down, but PR tries to lift him up. He gets 2 kills back. It's not enough to make them feel comfortable. In fact, they don't even want to go for it.
So many of these rounds have been such a strong opening for Falcons that there hasn't even been a chance to go for things. The first gun round is Kixon getting a pick over in cave, and then, you know, Falcons just outwork GamerLegion on the map, so they can't go. Second round is Kixon double kill up in red room. Right out of the gate with 1 minute and 30 seconds. GamerLegion already had to call for a save. Once again, just no chance.
Tessa should have died. Like, Tauson really should have had that kill.
I think he got blind, like, maybe like right at the start of that spray.
Maybe.
And now you could see Falcons a little bit more motivated to go for the hunt to try and take some of these weapons away, but a good safe perch for Slend means he gets to protect the guns. Two-round lead now for Falcons.
Yeah, another weird money situation here for GamerLegion. As soon as they get their money back, it's just these convincing round victories from Falcons, as you pointed out. You know, every time they've come back to a buy, it's just like 1-2 punch to open it up. It was either Kicksound running through red, now it's Tessa's up the B bomb side, Dexter getting 2 in middle with the AWP. Just like too much multi-kill success in the early stages. GamerLegion not able to hold on. They're going to send Slend all the way into the cutout in the middle. He wants an opening pick, but as soon as he gets that chance, the flashbang comes over the top. NiKo's going to go out with it, though. It's information, the AWP's in middle.
Well, another low buy round against Pistols where you've lost the first player. Deja vu, 3 saved weapons potentially into a round win, and it's Slend's turn with the AWP to show some prowess.
Oh, they peek him though. Dexter's gonna win that fight. Kixon coming right back. 3v3, and Falcons quickly flipping this back.
Oh, that's a good flash. Right when Rez pulled a nade in his hand, he just wanted to smoke it off. And that's
another
the
go to an empty
route.
site. Oh.
Yes.
GamerLegion sprinting back. At a certain point, you gotta start going for some round wins, but
it's not this one.
It's not this one, yeah. You've got an AK, you got a P250, but that'll be frustrating for GamerLegion to be in a position where you have the first 2 kills. Falcons just find the answer almost immediately.
Yeah, it kept up the aggression, and that's exactly what Falcons needed.
Could be a good save here, though. AWP, AK.
Yeah, it's a lovely find from ZTR, and it's a good call to pick that up off the ground, obviously. A lot of money you don't have to spend in the next. But Falcons keep extending this lead. And yeah, part of it is, you know, we know the group stage was so rocky for Falcons, all of us scratching our heads like, how is this team with these players with this much skill struggling this much? And it feels like over the course of that group stage, they've been playing themselves back and back into shape. We didn't see it in the first map of this series, but Inferno and Ancient, Falcons have showed up, and you're starting to see some of that skill shine in what it can do. And that is the AWP right at the end, taken away from GamerLegion. Slend's got to invest now, and that means he can't afford any utility. Second timeout taken for GamerLegion.
You got to get Ash on the mic. This is starting to become very worrying for GamerLegion. You mentioned earlier in the first map of the day that GamerLegion likely to feel a lot of confidence in this particular matchup, especially because of that early stage win. You know, with a 13-1, 13-2 victory in the group stages, you come in, you win train pretty quickly. You know, you're going to feel on top of the world, but that can change almost immediately when Falcons pick up a map win. And they're getting out to a pretty good lead at the moment. This is a team that is inexperienced. Yanko was saying in that post-map segment about the fact that, you know, if you're Tauson, you've been watching the likes of Magisk for years when you're an up-and-coming player. You know who you're playing against on the other side of the server, and maybe as this game goes on, that increasingly creeps into your mind. And NiKo getting out towards elbow, starting to dominate the mid area for the Falcons department. Not necessarily NiKo on his own, but They've got this area pretty much whenever they want it.
Yeah, they've done a really good job in mid to make it a sore spot for this defense for GamerLegion to think about. Kixon's had success. Dexter's obviously had success as well. And GamerLegion a little bit nervous about that push up towards Red Room. PR going to push forward just as Slen comes to join up with them. So the AWP provides cover as the AK gets into a good position, and no one has eyes on this for Falcons. If PR keeps moving into the jump up, a wraparound could be so deadly. So the pacing of this attack is everything.
PR catching Dexter, that's the bomb, and the bomb's gone. Tough round now for Falcons because you've still got Magisk all the way over on A. So that doesn't really matter when you don't have the bomb. You can't make a quick shift.
You've got 50 seconds, so you can actually, you can find a way. If you can work your way back to the B ramp, you can actually slow this down to give Magisk a time to come for the flank, but it's got to hurry. It's got to be fast. 38 seconds. Magisk not slowing down. GamerLegion starting to get nervous about that flank. ZTR is checking for it from time to time.
Gone. Locked in the corner. Tess is peeking out. Tauson to go down, and Slen needed an absolutely ungodly shot to land on Tess.
PR still active on the flank, though.
He's given away his position with that spam down. So NiKo flashed into the peak to fight him. Great flashbang, needs the kill. Tess still firing.
2v5.
Rez has to come right back into this. He's got some time to work with, but this would be a nightmare for GamerLegion to let this opportunity go. And it looks like it's going to end up in victory for Falcons. They've got a double cave setup. Bomb is implanted for them, but Rez never gets onto it. He still thinks they would have been on ramp. He still thinks they could be in the site. And
you aren't getting away, my friend.
You are not getting past this. Tess has locked him in. That is a huge recovery from Falcons.
A disgusting turnaround. Magisk, he doesn't get any kills, but he does enough of a distraction to open up the long avenue for Tess's. That felt like an impossible round. That's the equivalent of the train round that Falcons gave up in the post plan of just wandering away from the bomb. 2 versus 5. And Tess's opens it all up. Flashes for NiKo as well. Picks up the AWP. What a nightmare. Yo, I would pay Dexter to follow me around and hype me up. Just in everyday life.
Slap you as well, Jason? Would you pay him for that? The Dexter slaps. Oh my god, NiKo. He's gonna go down early at elbow. Here comes Tessus all the way on the charge up. Slen gonna close out on Tessus. And GamerLegion, they look better sometimes when they don't have everything they need.
On the lower buys, yeah, they get a little bit more creative. Let's see if Falcons can pull this one back. Surely it doesn't happen twice. They're still spread on the map. Magisk is going to get elbow and join up with Dexter in middle. Kixon sinking back outside of the B double doors. There's a minute on the clock. They've got utility to work with, but not too much. 1 smoke Molotov, 2 flashes, and an HE grenade. The problem is the smoke is over at the B bomb site as well, so you can't even use it to block off the red rooms. Oh my lord, Slen fell asleep. He just fell asleep.
Sleep with the wheel.
All that time, a passive angle, no movement, and his brain just shut off.
Well, their Magis has woken him up. Not going to be able to pull it back fully, though. He's going to go down inside a cave to the 5-7. Ooh. Grenades got it. Oh my god,
what?
How has Rez got away? But Dexter's now alone because Tauson made the final play, but 9 seconds, run away!
He has to hunt the kill.
You have to get away. You have to try and get this pick. And Dexter can't find him. He has to jump around the corner. 1 second! And it's going to be PR just about getting it. Oh, that is so close.
Oh, he got the kill before the wind plate came up, so I was, maybe just a 1/10 of a second off. GamerLegion outlasts Falcons in a very tense round 11, but they've got nothing to bring forward into the next. Everyone goes down. Dexter thought he won. Oh, he got trolled. He got so trolled.
Oh, it's unfortunate for him, but that actually might just be the lifeline for GamerLegion. Like, if they could pick up a 5th round here at the end of the half because they picked that round up, then they got a game. But
yeah, it'd be something special. It'd be something, I mean, they've been getting run ragged on this map. It was a 7-1 run leading into that round. Falcons offense just laying it on thick. One final chance to give yourself 5. That would be awesome for GamerLegion if they somehow get out of this half with 5 kills. It would be the first time they've strung rounds together since rounds 1 and 2, winning the pistol and converting the second against Glocks. Haven't been able to find consistent success, but right at the end of the day, they could get enough rounds to make this competitive in the second half. Kicks in on a MAC-10, AK-47s on everyone else for Falcons in this attack. Op on Slend, 3 M4s and an MP9 on ZTR. And we want to own mid if we're GamerLegion. 3-player start, pushing down. Haven't seen much of this, and NiKo gets caught. GamerLegion really haven't played that aggressive mid-style all that much, and NiKo gets lured into an overextended angle.
So it's the final play into the B-bomb site for this half. All 4 players for Falcons committed, and they've just got to drain the final pieces of utility. GamerLegion have a great shot at a 5th round win here. The utility is slowing them down, keeping them behind it at the moment.
I mean, it's kind of a nightmare of a smoke from GamerLegion. There's no more utility for Falcons. They don't have any more smoke for long or short. They only have a Molotov, so you're going to have to really fight to crack into cave against this AWP of Slend, and a slow peek from Dexter is nice and easy for the op.
Yeah, tough to flip this one even into a competitive situation. You need both kills in cave fast. Magisk is close to that, jumping up is ETR, but Tess has gone, so it's all Magisk. 45 seconds to win a 1v3, and he can't get out of cave alive. So GamerLegion secure the final 2 rounds of the half. It was looking like it was about to be absolute disaster, but that is a lifeline thrown their way.
It feels like they don't deserve 5, to be honest with you, in this half, but they've gotten the job done. Really cool to see them with 5, and at some level, if you're Falcons, you feel like you've dominated that half, and the disparity on the scoreboard isn't nearly as much as it feels like it should be. GamerLegion finding ways to fight back and have success. So they'll talk things over. It's Falcons who are going to switch over to their CT side. Yesterday against MongolZ, winning this map in overtime to qualify for the playoffs, to prevent MongolZ from getting a chance at a playoff run. It was Dexter and Tess's leading the way. They were beast, monsters. They're doing it again here, but not quite to the same impact, same level. 10 kills on Dexter at half, 10 on Tess's at half. 2 leading fraggers for Falcons. PR on top for GamerLegion with 12. NiKo full focused as freeze time starts counting down and we get into the pistol. Dualies on Dexter. Smoke on Tess's. A lot of utility for GamerLegion. Smoke Molly, smoke Flash, and an HE grenade on Rez. And this will be decided at the B-bomb site. Falcons going for an A push. So it feels like GamerLegion might have an advantage for the moment, but if they wait too long, any information being found is going to be worth its weight in gold.
Blow open the smoke, create the access point, deliver a headshot onto Tess and put all the pressure on Dexter and Cave. The rotation's coming back, and they just go in. They check Dexter as he looks away, and so that's a free kill for Rez. He'll take Cave, and once you get this post plant position, there's no world in which Falcons get back into this round.
No, they're already backing off. NiKo's been gushed. Magisk has been gushed. So yeah, back away. Try and get the cheap upgrades to head armor in the next round, because this one is lost. Too strong on the openings. Tesses and Dexter can get nothing done. 7-6, GamerLegion now winning 3 rounds in a row dating back to the first half. And both pistols in this critical deciding map.
Couple of kills on the way out here for Kixent. But that bomb blast is huge, so can't get away. I really can't believe that we're now 1 round away from having a tied game.
I know, it doesn't feel like it should be that way at all. But I mean, GamerLegion has done just enough. Obviously helping with the pistol round victory in the first half, and obviously now having both pistols as well, bolstering their score a little bit, because gun rounds were straight up in the favor of Falcons in a big way. Round 14 and a force buy out of Falcons. FAMAS on NiKo. Magisk has one as well. A pair of Deagles and an MP9 on Kixen. Looks very similar to the pistol round so far. Utility for the B bomb site. Kixen to drop the smoke, but you know they'll disrespect it.
Yep, they're just gonna run right through. Deagle was nearly close to not getting it somehow, but Tessa's eventually
It's got to be so frustrating.
unloads.
I think he gets gushed by like a jumping MAC-10 bullet, and his aim goes everywhere.
Yeah, goes AWOL. That bomb plant is denied. That bomb plant's denied. NiKo goes through the smoke. And a 2v2 all of a sudden. How have they managed to do this? Rez is waiting at the bottom of the B ramp. And everybody just takes a moment to pause and assess the situation. Now, there could be a chance of someone flanks through red, so they're going to go have a check of that. And
Well, I think more than anything, they're saying they're going to spend some time clearing out Cube and being cautious about picking up the bomb. So we have an opportunity to change where they think we are. A reposition from Dexter and Magisk. It's risky because it takes so long to wrap all the way around. Bomb just now getting picked up. Long control for GamerLegion.
dude, if they go A,
Dude, they have an inkling.
they
They're
might
like-
just go A.
They're like, if you're still here, you'd be jiggle peeking, you'd be shoulder peeking, we'd see something.
Oh, this is crazy. You arrived just a little late, guys. They have already gone.
But what a sick read from GamerLegion, from ZTR and Rez, to work up the courage to have that understanding and to just go for it.
And now they've got to realize that they're going to be coming from that B bomb site. So Rez is going to post up. This is so sick. Rez is going to get a chance, but not the kill.
And
So
actually,
even though they made the right read, it doesn't necessarily confirm the round win.
and now you have to sacrifice Magisk with a low HP so Dexter can be set up for a 1v1.
So the responsibility falls to ZTR. He's going to peek first. Magisk is low. MAC-10 can't get the job done. So even though Falcons were out red, they still able to come back in and win the round.
Yeah, really nice job from Falcons. Huge, huge hold. Stopping that plan. I don't know who spammed him. I believe the initial damage was through smoke out towards long.
But it had to be like literally the last possible take on the bomb plant as well. Slen just so unlucky not to get away with the plant.
Those are those slim margins. Yeah, there's that little half second before the bomb goes down. You stop the plant, and a big advantage found for Falcons.
And then NiKo moving through with all the confusion, he's able to get one extra out of his life.
He might
before
have been able to
falling.
get two. The first kill, he got the dink, but it didn't clean up as fast as he would have liked. I think he was almost frustrated. This one right here. He turns away and has to come back forward. He might actually be able to double up onto Rez if it's not as labored, but a good win from Magisk.
It's a crime to have two players in the pro scene.
No, and he's not even playing. It's still wrecking my brain.
Well, it takes Sir and NiKo a couple of kills quickly. It's fast from GamerLegion again. This time, trying to pummel the A bomb site defense, but there's so many players now available for Falcons. You've still got NiKo here on default, and he's going to have no problems in dealing with Tauson.
And this is a clean win for the Falcons defense that lets him feel, it takes a lot of pressure away because they don't have to be concerned about money. Tessus wins that final battle, 9-6. Falcons have grabbed control of this second half at a perfect moment, losing the pistol but responding in the second. And GamerLegion got to work themselves up into a comeback, but it won't be this round. Right around $2,000 across the board, so a save.
And you may have brought it close to tying up the scoreline. You had your opportunity to do so. But Falcons have snatched it right back. And yeah, this is being used as a bit of a timeout. You see Slend, hands off the mouse and keyboard.
Getting comfy, adjusting the pillow, needs that lumbar support.
Yep, you can do that with the secret lab chair. That little knob on the side of your chair right now, Jason, you can make your chair real nice and comfy.
Left side or right side?
Your left side. It's halfway up the chair. You're looking in the wrong area. You'll get it.
No? Oh, I suck at this.
There you go.
Oh, okay, nice.
Now, how does that feel?
A little bit better, yeah.
Yeah. So
Never
you
knew
can
this
continue
existed.
gaming late into your old years.
Oh, sure, I'm going to need that. Well, back to the B double doors. Kixen and Tess's nice crossfire setup. Should be a slaughter.
Time to make some money, Tessas. Yeah. Final bullet through the smoke, rather, as well. PR to leap through right into the waiting arms of NiKo,
who takes 2, Tessus on the 3. And we got 10 rounds for Falcons.
10 rounds for Falcons and tons of money built up behind him. 6,600 on NiKo.
Yeah, I mean, Falcons could go from losing 2 series in embarrassing fashion to kick off the tournament, right? They lost the complexity opening game, 13-6, 13-5. They played GamerLegion where they got 13-2, 13-1. Well, to go on a 3-series win streak, and then if they beat GamerLegion today, they're into a semifinal.
Yeah, think of it this way: in 3 maps to play against GamerLegion, they got to combine 10 rounds, and then they're just they might just rattle off 2 wins and knock them out of the playoffs.
That's why the Swiss system pretty forgiving for the experienced sides. You get plenty of opportunities to eventually warm up into the tournament.
And to recover from upsets.
Yeah.
Dexter gonna get smoked off. Kixon goes 1 for 1. He's not smoked off, excuse me. Nice easy shot as nothing takes his vision away.
Now he's behind a smoke, but he's got some utility of his own. He can heat up that default spot, prevent that plant from coming in for an extra few seconds, push from Tauson. He's going to be looking at Dexter, so NiKo gets a player walking back turn. And in terms of easy shots for NiKo, that is certainly up there. Nice shot from PR. He's going to go the long way around. He's got a minute to play with. Doesn't have the bomb, remember, so has to backtrack through B. But this could work because they're not really considering it right now. He's really so fast. He is so fast, but jumps the gun a little bit early. Now the element of surprise is gone, and NiKo imagines call to go into the bomb site. So they change up their positions. NiKo finds AWP. And PR, I don't think he was expecting to have them both look in the wrong way.
No, but also, I mean, you can't be choosy with those fights you find from that position, especially with 12 HP. Yeah, he gave himself a chance with the speed of which he went for that flank. Cool idea. Not a clean look. 1 for 1 at long, but it's Dexter with that glimpse that really slows down this hit, takes the teeth out of it. Then it turns everyone into kind of a lurker where you have to try and slowly creep and scale towards Cube. Good round win, 11-6. Tech 9s for GamerLegion. Again, back to this B bomb site, all 5 players. But Kixon's going to be disruptive.
Yeah, he probably would have hoped for a multi-kill there. Great spin from Rez to get away with the Tech 9 headshot, but Tess is making sure to plug the gap, and the B-bomb site will not be under too much pressure whatsoever. It is going to be series point for Falcons.
Uh-oh. Don't count your chickens, NiKo.
Oh, there's one. But now they know where he is. They really shouldn't let a 3 HP ZTR get into a winning position. And so it is series point, semi-final point for Falcons.
They got 6 of them as well. What a turnaround to this event for Falcons. It was looking so ugly throughout that group stage. The beatdown from GamerLegion especially was just like, what is happening to this Falcons team? But the fact that they've recovered brought this all the way back. And this is probably the gameplay they expected to open up this event with. They talked about the practice heading into this. They talked about the mindset on being, let's not look over this event. Let's make sure we perform very, very well in it. And starting to see what made them confident that they'd be able to do just that.
NiKo, blinded, still comes away with the opening pick. A step in semi-final direction. Dexter spots his next victim. The tip of the barrel of that AK just peered around the corner. Eventually they run into him. NiKo's committed to the cutout. They're gonna know that he's gonna be under a lot of pressure soon. Molotov goes in. NiKo gets away with another, and damage done up towards heaven. It is ZTR left on 12 HP. And NiKo's early work might just allow this finish.
The Falcons group stage began with that Calamity versus GamerLegion as their second match. Their first match was a loss to Complexity, the new look Complexity without Alige, sitting 0-2, and have everyone look at the quality of those losses and saying there's no chance this Falcon team can recover. But they've hunkered down.
Tauson still fighting back. Push down B ramp here from Kixan, just about misses out on spotting ZTR going into mid. Plant being confirmed inside of the A site. Dakes are not swinging wide enough to deny it. Slen's gone back to CT to look for Tesses. Catches him, looking the wrong way, off guard. Slen still takes damage, but gets into the temple. They'll replace him with Tauson with high HP, but this time Kixan comes out on top of that fight. Dexter back turn, Slen through temple. And their prayers of staying alive for at least a round longer are answered by Slend.
All right, good job, GamerLegion, fighting back. A small opportunity, 5 rounds remaining to make this comeback work. They've lamented the feeling that they play most of their games at a 6 out of 10 level. They need a 10 out of 10 if they want to claw this into overtime. Up in the hands of Slend, picking up AKs around it. For Falcons on defense, trying to work out their money at the moment. A couple players rich, a couple players a little bit busted. First time out that Zonic has had to use. Mentioned there's been a lot of scrutiny obviously around Zonic with the struggles of Falcons since he took over the project trying to build a winning team. NiKo's only had positive things to say about him since joining the roster. Very happy that he mentions they've been able to get on the same page in terms of Counter-Strike, view the game the same way. He said there's not a lot of coaches he's worked with that he's had that relationship with, that he's had that similar understanding of the game with. And those two together work together to organize Falcons specifically on CT sides. NiKo's kind of the captain on the defensive side of things, and him and Zonic put their heads together to come up with a game plan. It's that game plan that will get them a semifinal berth by closing out this map.
Yeah, and they've gone for the conservative approach here. They're not throwing everything they've got into winning this kind of round. We'll give it a go. You know, NiKo has the deagle, Dexter's on the AWP. But GamerLegion should be getting their 8th round victory. Especially because they're heading towards A, and that AWP was starting on B.
It's got to be a cool feeling if you're Dexter, though, that they're giving you the space to have this hero AWP. Everyone else saving. They say, Dexter, we know you can provide us the winning kills.
Let's see if he lives up to it. Dexter, yes, he can! Double kill from Donut to A main.
And the defense was rotating, but now it's spreading back out again because they know GamerLegion isn't going to press the issue. Trying to readjust elsewhere on the map towards Red Room, right at Dexter.
Yeah, NiKo is coming around the back as well. Dexter has another chance. Rez is going to go down with a bomb. They have to turn back. Dexter with another kill. And the hero AWP sends Falcons soaring into the semifinals. If this is to be the last time that Dexter gets to show up in the Falcons journey, he is going to go out in style.
Absolutely, you can see what it means to him there at home. Big reaction from the guys. All smiles.